Jerk! Let's go! Cam's a shit kicker, 2 bombs in the lead. Soul Dragon Cougar's no time for fatigue. And he's a shit talker, stirring up the show. Never played a shift, but he's ready to go.
Welcome into the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number
343, baby. Let's go. Yoink.
Yoink.
Let's go. Get up. Get up. Not playing around today.
I'm tired today.
I'm not playing around today. Andy's tired, and we're going to get into that in a second. But I predicted this. I've been predicting this for a long time. Andy makes fun of me. Blah, 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 blah. I said them tornadoes were coming, and they did, and they almost hit your house.
They did
No.
hit my house.
Let me just
Hold
listen.
on.
I love you.
Cam,
No.
what
It
are
wasn't
you talking
a tornado yet. It formed over Clayton. Clayton is north of you.
No.
It went right past you. No. I went through this whole thing because I knew you were going to do this. I'm a step ahead of Andy right now. It just
Well,
formed.
let him talk, and then we'll get into
okay,
it. This guy gets...
So tornadoes killed a bunch of people in St. Louis the
5
last couple
people.
days. I think it's 6.
At
And then
least.
Kentucky went down to Kentucky and slaughtered 25 or whatever.
There were tornadoes in Colorado yesterday, rocked throughout the
Hardcore.
state of Colorado.
Hardcore.
My wife and daughter were in Minnesota for soccer. They had a layover in Denver,
Yeah.
and they didn't get home till almost 2 o'clock in the
Because
morning.
of tornadoes in Denver?
Because
Mile
of the
high, too.
delays. Yeah.
So anyway, I saw Andy post, and the storm just started brewing. It brewed right over Andy's house, and then it connected around Clayton about 3-4 miles north of him. Then it hit the ghetto of St. Louis and fucking killed people.
Why you have to say it like that?
Because they didn't have alarms. They didn't have alarms. And I thought Andy was going to be like, I went through a tornado. No, you didn't.
What kind of
Because you're
alarms?
dismissing what the African Americans went through in the ghetto and went north through
It's in
North
North
County.
St. Louis. I don't like how you're referring to it. It's making me uncomfortable.
Well, it should, because it's an uncomfortable situation. They didn't have sirens. The
They don't
sirens-
have tornado warnings.
Dude, there's people filming. And he's like, this thing's coming. I don't hear a siren anywhere. They're
Okay,
like,
well,
there's
you
no
don't
sirens.
know that. You're just
Well, it
saying you
should have
didn't
been
hear
going
it
on.
in that guy's video.
Why is there not a siren going on when these tornadoes are hitting anywhere downtown?
Are you done?
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. Because I
'Cause
knew this
you're
was
gonna
coming. My
have to,
bad. I'm sorry.
Because I've survived a couple of these now that I've
See?
been through it. Cam talks like he knows all about tornadoes. He's never even seen one. I've seen 2 in the last couple of years. Okay, so
You are.
this tornado, and my wife and my daughter were home at the time. 2 of my kids were still at school. 1 was home already, and we were without power for 48 hours. Dude.
That sucks.
I mean, power lines
Ay,
down
ay, ay.
on the ground. Very
Sucks.
dangerous situation. I had to call the electrical company
Yeah.
and tell them that the power lines are down on my property. This is dangerous. And when I did that, they came out very soon after. And Par Electric, I'll give you a shout out. Those boys came and really took care of it.
That's scary.
Because they bring in
Yeah.
electrical crews from all over the country to help assist with what was going on. But anyway, no power. Only house in my neighborhood that didn't have power.
It hit your house, dude. It wasn't a tornado at the time. It was just headwind.
Time out. Destroyed my fence. Massive tree, which is still down in front of my yard. I had to have somebody come over and with a chainsaw. And I know a lot of y'all are reaching out to me. I appreciate everyone who's reached out to me. People are suggesting I get a chainsaw. So many people reached out to me to see if I
To get a chainsaw?
was okay, except him.
Because I know exactly what
you
you're going
didn't
through.
ask me you didn't even ask me if I was okay.
I warned you about the damn thing.
Doesn't matter.
We were on the phone, and you're like, "What's going on with the weather?"
He's
and I
like,
explained it to him.
level 4 storms.
Yes, I go,
level
it's
4 storms.
I go, it's coming. I go, I saw it. It started to form out where I live, which is about 35 miles, 40 miles west of where Andy's at. It formed right over. You saw the fucking clouds building up. You saw the rotation. You saw the wind shear. You saw all that.
I mean,
I've been preaching this.
You should see this
I've
tree
been-
that fell down about a half mile away from me by my kid's school.
Oh, they're gigantic
Massive
old trees.
oak tree.
People
Just laying across the road. I mean, I think the road's still closed to this second. They can't get rid of the tree.
Imagine all those trees were in Ladue, because there's not many in North County like there is in Ladue. But if that son of a bitch hit Ladue like it did North County, you'd still be stuck at your house. Well, I don't know. You wouldn't be coming here right now. There'd be such a mess. So you guys got lucky. North County didn't get lucky. But that thing was scary. Again, I've been predicting this for months now that this is going to be
Nostradamus.
Well, I've been saying that we have it on record. We have it on record. I'm telling you. I told
Why?
you it's
Because
gonna
it
be
was
hard.
so cold in the winter?
Yeah, it's just the way the weather forms, man. Every 6-7 years.
So what
you
are we
get this
looking at
stuff.
next year? Do you
We're going to
know?
have tornadoes today.
Oh, really?
This is Monday, so it's going to come out Tuesday.
What
So
time are we getting them today?
Yeah, tonight again. I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a level 2 so far. But shit, the other one was a level 2 until Angela Huddy's
What
like,
do you
no,
mean
it's a fucking
it was
Angela
a
4.
level 2?
It's a level 2
The
so
EF2,
far.
you mean?
No, An EF.
You
know
told
what
me
that means?
You told me the storms were going to be level 4 storms.
Level 4 storms and
Uh-huh.
EF Fujita scale are completely different. Do you not understand that?
Okay.
Of course you don't. Do you know how they determine how they rank a tornado? It's through damage. And if they went through your house,
because I was going to guess by how strong the winds are.
it's through damage. And so they're going to look at Andy's house and like, this is not even a tornado yet. But they go 4 miles down the road. They're like, this is an EF0, this is an EF1, this is an EF2, this is an EF3. So I'm just telling you how lucky you
Praveen
got.
was walking around outside, and he's telling
doesn't
me,
even know what's
he's
going
telling my wife that shingles are flying like. And Laurie's like, I think shingles are. I mean,
know.
and he
It
told me
sucks
that
he
there's
doesn't
white
speak English.
snakes. Remember, there's white snakes in my backyard. He said. He goes, white snakes. I'm like, what? He
He's
goes,
probably listening to White Snakes, that 80s band.
No, I think they have him back where he's
okay.
from in his native country, and he's thinking that we've got white snakes here too, dude, which are very dangerous. He's knocking on my door one day, being like,
White snakes?
white snake. I'm like, what? He goes, white snake in your backyard. I'm like, oh my god.
Nah, yeah. See, Andy's getting it. No,
And then he's saying shingles are flying everywhere.
You'll
I didn't
know what
see
you
any
know what a
shingles.
poisonous snake looks like, man. You just look at the top of their head. It has a slanted thing. Their eyes look different. It is what it is. But my point is, man, this was a weird one. It killed some people. I think it killed a person. They're jogging because it really came up. So level 4, here's what I'm getting at. The enhanced Vegeta scale is EF0 to EF5. This was at the most for a brief time was an EF3, and it still did all that damage. It wasn't nothing when it hit your house, thank God. But the level 4 has nothing to do with the enhanced Vegeta scale. Level 4 is just the level 4 of how much
Can we
hail
just call it
to whatever.
EF?
It's enhanced now. It's a Japanese guy.
Oh, it's not EF anymore?
No, it's EF. It used to be F. Now it's enhanced.
Yeah, but
so
you
they
don't
call
need
it
to
EF.
start calling about
you're just-
fajita and all that type of stuff.
Vegeta.
Fajita.
But anyway, so it just missed you, man. You got lucky, dude. You really did. Just like it just missed me the last time.
It just missed us, but like Cam, I've never seen a storm like that in my life, dude.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't. I'm telling you, dude.
There has been.
I'm telling you.
People are like, I've never seen anything like this.
looking
I'm
out
like,
the window.
look at history.
It got almost purely black.
Look at history.
And it was the wind was so strong, and it's always amazing because my Morning Glory maple in the back of my house that I personally planted.
Yeah.
I planted 2 of them, one in the front, one in the back. Those things don't even they never fall down.
The little ones don't.
Do you know that? No, it's gotten big. Do you know it's going to grow for 30 years? That thing until it won't be fully grown until the 30-year mark, and we're at about the 4 or 5 year mark right now. Not even at the 5-year mark. We're at the 4-year
Andy,
mark.
there's trees that are 800 years old.
We're not even at the 4-year mark. We're just going to get to the 4-year mark at the end of this year. It's amazing that this tree can withstand that type of
A lot of little trees
wind
can't
power.
because it's strong, and it doesn't have a big girth like some of these monster oaks that we deal with.
I didn't take
So-
the video like I
But
should
you're acting
because
like 30 years is a long time for a tree. Like that's still a baby.
I'm just telling
dude.
you, it's gotten so big
Still a
and it's got a
baby.
long way to go. It is still a baby,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but anyway, I didn't mean to. I just thought that you're going to come on here and say I went through a tornado. Those guys downtown did, man, and they didn't know what the fuck
It's not.
to do.
It's North St. Louis.
North
it
St.
wasn't
Louis got-
downtown. It was.
It was both.
Although there was downtown
What do you mean?
too.
It
Yeah.
went right through downtown. You have to go downtown to get
Yeah.
to North City. So anyway, they got rocked, and of course that's what happens. But people are like, I've never seen anything like this. Bullshit, you haven't. It happened in 2011 at the goddamn airport where spinning airplanes
which
arrived,
is
which is an
which
EF3.
is north of where I am too. I feel like
Yes.
the tornado typically goes north.
We've talked about that a million goddamn
Have you
times.
said that?
Yes, that's why I keep telling everybody it's going to go through Chesterfield and it's going to fucking, that's north.
Chesterfield's west.
Dude, in St. Charles County, that's where it all
That's a little
begins.
northwest.
That's where St. Charles gets rocked, and then
Did
Illinois
they get
gets
rocked
rocked.
this time?
No, it went through St. Louis. Don't you see? Didn't you look and see the trajectory? It went
Well,
right through Clayton, all the way. No,
Sorry,
went north.
Karen, we didn't have power for 3 days.
Well, I don't know. Get a chainsaw.
Do you know I'm literally starting my car, leaving my phone in my car, and just charging my phone for hours at a time?
Yeah, that sucks. This missing power, losing power like that.
Would you
sucks,
rather not
so.
have power or not have water for 3 days?
That's a great question.
Because we had water.
What would I? You could always go outside. Oh shit, I don't know. They
You can-
both suck.
You can always go get water.
And what? Clean
But
yourself.
like your sink gets fucking disgusting. You can't
you
shower.
You don't realize every time you go in the bathroom, you're like, oh,
can't
fuck,
flush.
You gotta take a dump.
Honestly, it was. I'm not gonna say it was nice because it was absolutely terrible, especially when you have little kids. But getting them off all their like electronics is a good thing too. And then they stop missing them.
Were they like this? What do I?
No.
What do I do?
We're like playing outside nonstop.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. But
should be clean. You should be helping your neighbors and cleaning up Your neighbors probably
No,
got
no, no,
robbed.
no, no. I got rocked. So they're all helping me. Like,
Okay.
and people are coming over they're coming out of the woodwork, taking pictures of this tree that's laying down. We're like it was a major news story. CBS is reaching out to me. ABC is
Well, you
reaching
didn't
out
go
to me.
through
Fox
it,
is reaching
though.
out to me.
You just had a
all the
tree
major television networks are reaching out because of our disaster that we had.
Andy chirps me for bringing up tornadoes and talking about how they're coming. Then he gets rocked by one. And he's like,
ABC reached out to me. CBS reached out to me. And Fox reached out to me. CNN
up the
reached out to me.
podcast, then.
CNN reached out to me.
No one cares. No one cares.
All the major networks.
Do you think?
It's amazing that we survived.
Do you think Toronto
Oh, we're
Hold on.
switching?
would rather have an EF5 tornado bulldoze through their city
Mhm.
or to lose like they did last night?
Well, last night was an EF3 at least, probably.
That was an EF4.
It was
Baby.
an EF4 last night. I think Game 5 was an EF5 in Toronto,
This was, just
and I
as
think
bad.
Game 7 was EF4.
We got to move
Every
on. We got to
game,
move on. to
every
Toronto.
game, they're like, "This is the biggest game in our
I
history.
know.
This is the biggest game in the last 30 years." Those poor guys, man. I'm not gonna just rail on Matthews and Marner like everyone else wants us to do because I looked at the stats this morning. Who did all the scoring for the Florida Panthers this series? You think it was Barkov? Because it wasn't.
No, I didn't notice him that
Was
much.
it Reinhardt? No.
Although I did notice Barkov last night.
Oh no, he does all the other
Hell,
things.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hold on.
Oh wait.
Hold
a
on.
Second
Hold on.
here.
He does all the other things, right? Right. Reinhardt got the goal last night. I think he had 2 goals in the series, but get the 5th or 6th goal last night.
Seth
5th goal.
Jones took over last night.
Seth Jones had a great game. Matthew Tkachuk, no goals in the series, right?
Yep.
Banged up, but he's still making great plays in
He
the
was.
offensive end,
Yep.
winning board battles,
Yep.
finishing hits. Every chance he
Yep.
gets, he finishes hits. So he knows how to still have an impact, right? So stop calling it the Core 4. You can't have a nickname and call yourself Core 4 when you've never done anything as a team, as a Core 4. The Core 4 is 0 for 6, right, in Game 7s? I think the Core 4 is 0 for 6 in Game 7s. You can't win a Game 7. You have never gotten to the conference final. A Core 4 would be a nickname that you would give a specific group of athletes who have had unbelievable, historic success, right?
Together.
The Core 4 was unbelievable. So we're going to call this the Core 4. You need everybody. So my point is, yeah, Reinhardt didn't take over the series. Barkov didn't take over the series. Sam Bennett didn't take over the series. Obviously, he had a big impact early on with Stolars and all that. Matthew Tkachuk didn't take over the series. Even when they put up 6 goals in Game 5, Cam, everybody scoring their first goal of the playoffs, except for Ekblad. I think it was his second goal of the playoffs. Everybody else, first goal of the series, right? First goal of the playoffs, first goal of the series. So you got to rely on everybody. It's got to be everybody. And Florida had more players impacting this series than Toronto did. So as much as we want to focus only on the Core 4, and I get it, man, but it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's not always your best players, your superstars that rise to the top. It's the rest of the group. You know, this McMahon kid, I think he had 20 goals during the regular season. No goals in the playoffs.
None.
Their defense produces nothing.
Matthew Nyes didn't do much
They
in that
don't-
game either.
Matthew Nyes, 2 goals in the series, right?
Didn't do
So,
much.
you know, Tavares, -4,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I think he had 2 goals in the series. You know, Marner,
Didn't notice him.
Matthews, 1 goal each in the series. So as much as it is their fault, they don't have a team to this day, and we've been saying this for year after year after year, that is capable of going deep into the playoffs. So you want to put all your money in one basket and give it to 4 or 5 guys and say, hey, go get it done. That's not the way it works in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It never has. You better have a 4th line, you better have a 3rd line, and you better have big, tough, strong defensemen that have two-way ability,
Yep.
that can chip in the offensive side of the
I
ice.
agree with you, homie.
They didn't have any of that.
No.
But everyone only wants to focus on the Core 4 because they make all the money, and I get it. Collectively, as a group, they haven't gotten it done. What did you think of Bieber sitting
I
behind
was
the
just gonna bring that up.
glass?
He's just who knows what he just has his glasses on. He's like, "Ugh."
Mike Van Ryan is probably like,
Ugh.
get the fuck out of here.
It's so weird, man. I don't know what the fuck I feel. It is what it is. You know, Mitch Marner, they got a clip of him by the bench. And he's
Screaming
like,
at the bench.
get gone! His
No,
hair
he's-
is
he-
dry as a bone.
He's like, wake up, everyone.
You wake up. His hair is dry as a cactus in fucking Arizona. Like, seriously. Like, little things like that. I mean, Matthews didn't do anything in that game. Did nothing. Barkov, dude, I noticed him all game long. Didn't do much offensively. He had the puck.
Nobody takes the puck from the defensive
And
end
hold
and
on
gets
to it,
it
Andy.
gets it deep into
He's
the
holding in
offensive
the corner.
end.
He's got 2 guys on him. Spins off a guy, kicks it up to the point.
I know.
I go, you can't get it away from Marchand dominated. Hey, I'll give Bill Zito. You pick up fucking Seth Jones. We didn't know Seth Jones that much. Look what he did last night. How about that offsides play? Where he just lets the puck go, he slows down a little bit, then catches up to it. Like, that was a brilliant play. I think it was on the third goal or whatever it was. After he goes bar down.
Yeah.
After he goes
got
bar
an assist
down
on the play.
He made an unbelievable play where they kicked it up. The guy just kicked it right to Seth Jones. They created a 2-on-1.
His shot on the goal was unreal.
It was a great shot.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it went in. He doesn't even. He just stands there like, I scored.
This guy was a big time phenom coming out of USA Hockey and coming into the NHL. Oh yeah, and playing with the Portland Winterhawks.
Yep.
When they had all those great teams, and was a very high draft pick. Obviously, comes from an athletic family with his dad being an NBA player, an NBA coach. And
didn't know that actually. Oh yeah, I did know that.
Popeye Jones.
Never mind. I knew that. My
his brother was a player.
Yeah.
But
he took over.
And he had his moment. Last night was his turn, and he did.
And Marchand.
You
picked those two Bills. You picked those two guys up, and like no one. It just was such a great move.
But here's
Marchand
the deal.
was all over the place.
But when you're Brad Marchand and you spent your entire career with one organization, you're a legendary, historic figure in on an original 16.
Yeah.
And when it's time to go, you can kind of push and prod in terms of where you're going to go. And, you work with the organization, which he did. And he credited Don Sweeney for getting him to Florida. That's where he wanted to go. He wasn't going to go anywhere else. He wanted to go to Florida. So I'm not taking anything away from Bill Zito, but when you've built an organization the way that Zito has,
there it is.
Dale Talon before that,
Yep.
and now they have the winning pedigree. And you talk to players, and you talk to people who are around that team, and they talk about how serious and how professional that team is. You walk into that dressing room, it's the most professional dressing room in the NHL, which is why they can go on the road to Toronto in Game 7 and not panic and have that confidence that they're going to be able to flip the switch and get back on track and win a game, which they didn't play well in Game 6. I know some people say, second period they played great and everything. No, they didn't play good.
No, they didn't either.
That wasn't the Florida Panthers where we're used to seeing.
No.
So now when you created that type of culture, guess what? All the big dogs, they want to come play for you. They want to come to your team. And that's what happened with Marchand. And this guy is so professional too, man. And I love everything about this guy.
So
I was never a huge Marchand fan. Always liked him, but wasn't a huge Marchand guy when he was in Boston. I've got so much respect for him now, just in terms of how he's come to a team that already had a winning pedigree, and his leadership is just completely taken over.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's putting these guys on his back when he doesn't even need to, man. Does everything the right way. The gamesmanship.
Not taking penalties.
When to change, when not to change.
Yep.
Doesn't take penalties. Put pucks in good areas. Can play with pretty much anybody.
First guy on the forecheck takes the hit, holds on to the puck, kicks it wide.
Wins every puck race.
Everything. That was unbelievable. That was fun to watch. It really was. Toronto just what's next now?
But how come nobody else gets criticized or evaluated like the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I don't see. I hear everybody coming out. Matthew Tkachuk came out and said it must be tough on these guys. Brad Marchand comes out. I know you tweeted it. Oh, it must be tough. I look at that like I don't give a fuck. You're in a fucking
There's
Mecca.
a lot of positives
I wish
too.
I would have played for Toronto. That would have been unbelievable. No offense to Jersey, but I'd love to have a sniff in Toronto. Hell yeah, see what it's like. You know what I mean? Like you are everywhere. Like that's a good thing too. It's a good thing too. You wouldn't be complaining about it if you would have showed up in Game 7 and scored a big time goal and you're praised everywhere and you're talked about for weeks and weeks. Hell, they're going to talk about this series when other series are going on for the next 2 weeks. That's how important you are in Toronto. And everybody's feeling bad for these guys because they have it so hard. Fuck that. You got it good too. You're in a monster market. You're king dick everywhere. You get talked about more than anybody. Good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't matter. I know, everybody's like, oh, I feel bad. Bullshit. You can walk down the street and do whatever the hell you want. I mean, like, you own that city. And it's tough when you lose, but shit. Everybody's feeling bad for these Toronto Maple Leafs players. Like, what are we doing here? I don't know.
Well,
I mean, come on.
No, but
so what? There's pressure. These guys are bitching about pressure. Imagine being a football player. Imagine being a basketball player. It's 20 times worse. 20 times worse. Those guys take a beating too. So what? Their game is so much more popular
Well,
than the
the
NHL. Can you imagine?
But the Cowboys
Look
haven't.
what the Cowboys have to
They
deal
haven't
with.
won since
Philadelphia has to deal with. New York has to deal with. Get out of
the
here.
Cowboys haven't won since.
So we're going to feel sorry for one team in the NHL?
I'm saying the Cowboys
Get outta
haven't won
here.
since the mid-90s.
No shit. They get bashed every fucking day. It's part of it. You're also a fucking Dallas Cowboy. You're
Yeah.
also a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Yeah, and that's why
Everybody's feeling sorry
And guess
for
what? By playing there, that's why you
them.
get
Have a
paid.
job the rest of your
That's
life.
why you get paid so much money.
No
too.
doubt.
I mean, people are talking about Mitch Marner like being a $13 million player. He's had one 100-point season. I know he's a great offensive talent, but if he had his career and did it in another market, he wouldn't be probably wouldn't be getting paid over $11 million or whatever he's getting paid right now, and he wouldn't be looking at a contract that's going to pay him $13 million somewhere in the off season. He wouldn't be considered the elite of the elite of the elite superstar that he is considered because of where he's played. And you look at the players who make that type of money, Cam. You look at McKinnon. You look at McDavid.
Come on.
You put him in that category?
Come on. No.
You know, Rantanen. You put him
Rantanen.
in that category?
Mon's big boy Rantanen, who goes in the net like
Whose
Marner
point
gets
per
lost.
game
He just gets
in the
lost
playoffs
the
is like
He's
historic.
it's tough for him to play. He needs to be mixed in with big players, man, that do a lot of hardcore work for him. He needs to be mixed in with a Barkov and a goddamn, a Bennett or something that just does the work, and then maybe he could be successful in the playoffs. It just doesn't. It's not working.
See, I think he could
Can I
be.
say something
I
real quick?
think he could.
I think he could be too. Of course he can be. He's that talented. You have to have the right pieces. They don't.
So, and that's how it's going to work. This guy's going to go somewhere else, and he's going to
probably
win.
Yeah, because everybody else is going to just do the dirty. They expect him to go in and win battles with some of these big defensemen.
You think
No.
that's him?
He's your size, Sandy.
Like, that's what they want from him. They want to see him go in there and
He can't do it. He's like getting bounced
No.
around. It doesn't work that way.
He needs to play with guys who do that, who
There it
create
is.
space for him
Exactly
to
right.
do what he does best, which is make world-class plays
There you go.
offensively, who is still pretty responsible defensively, right?
Yes, he's a damn good
Now,
player in
like,
all aspects of the
Now,
ice.
his
he
play
is.
on the wall in Game 5, I mean, that's
It's
inexcusable.
bad. It was bad.
You know,
So-
like when you do a spinorama backhand pass and then they turn around and
But can I say something real
score
quick?
2 seconds later, that's going to be shown on the highlight reel. For
No shit.
years
You know what
and
I
years
think,
and years.
Matthew and Brad Marchand, they played that so good, in my opinion. I feel bad for these guys because of the pressure. Those guys don't give two shits about you. They're chirping you in a delicate way. That is a fucking chirp. Like, you guys can't handle the pressure. Meanwhile, one played in Calgary getting fucking bashed every day. No one played in Boston getting bashed every day. I mean, come on. Those guys just said that to be nice. And they're both belittling them in a way, in my opinion.
Mhm.
You guys can't handle. I feel bad for you, little guy. You can't handle
Yeah,
the
I
pressure.
know.
You don't think that's what they're
You
doing?
can't handle being
You
a-
think they're really feeling sorry for some of these? Are you out of your
No.
mind?
Oh,
You're the
they're-
one that tweeted it. I'm like, these guys are chirping them. They're chirping them in a perfect way. Just a fucking perfect, just a little bit off base. Like, no, I feel bad for you,
Yeah.
little guy.
Yeah, I know. I think you're right.
Fuck yeah.
But at the same time,
It's funny.
they do deal with something that
Sure.
most of the rest of the league
Sure.
doesn't
So does New
deal
York
with.
Rangers. JT Miller's dealing with it. JT Miller dealt with it in Vancouver.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a little bit louder. Now we got to feel bad for him. Get out of here.
Yeah.
If you are an alumni with Toronto Maple Leafs, you're basically set up. If you live in Toronto, you're an alumni there, shit. Like, you are doing pretty dang
Okay,
good.
let me ask you this though.
You're a Toronto Maple Leaf alumni?
Let
Come
me
on.
let me ask you this. What do you think of the way the fans act at the game, throwing jerseys and doing all that
I don't care.
and booing?
I don't care.
Mhm.
That does not bother me at all. You could boo your team. Would I ever boo? No, I'm not a big fan of anything. I never was. I was a fan of myself growing up. The Blues lose, I'm going to be mad, but I'm not going to boo them.
Cam was a fan of of
No
himself.
shit. I'm always doing it playing hockey. I was thinking about myself the whole time. I didn't have that much emotion.
Mhm.
These fans pay so much money. If you can get a ticket to Toronto to watch Toronto Maple Leafs, like, it's not just like, hey, you want 2 tickets? It doesn't work that way up there. So these guys have been watching this team for years and decades and decades. They've been spending money and they've been a letdown. So if they want to act like that, would I ever do that? Hell no. If I was
No.
with a buddy of mine that's acting obnoxious, I'd probably smack him in his face. But I don't care.
You don't
That doesn't-
burn jerseys.
I don't burn jerseys. That's funny. Who cares? They bought it. It already
Mhm.
donated to your
But you know
organization
what?
anyway.
When you sell a bill of goods, and when Toronto charges as much as they do,
I mean, come
as much
on.
as they do to the fans to come out and support
Exactly.
that team, if you want to go to a game, you got to spend thousands and
a
thousands
ton of
dollars
money.
just to get a ticket,
Yeah,
right? Or
yeah.
whatever the price is. And
Yeah.
it's just a level of frustration, man. You get sold
I don't
a bill of
blame them.
goods every year, and they don't get it done. But
Doesn't bother me.
if this happens to Vegas every year, or if it were to happen, Dallas has been through it,
Yep.
and they've had great
Winnipeg.
teams. Winnipeg, we just don't react the same way. So Toronto's a loud team, and for good reason, man.
Hold on, though. We don't react the same way.
No.
The Blues fans literally booed Jordan Kyrou
Mhm.
a whole game every time he touched the puck because of something he said about a coach that got fired.
No, I know.
Like, that's a big deal, too.
That was-
Like Jordan Kyrou.
Remind people that was a couple years ago.
It was a
right?
couple years ago, and
Yeah.
Andy interviewed him, and he literally cried in the locker room. He literally cried because the fans booed the best player on the team,
And it hurt him.
and it
dude,
hurt
to
him.
The core,
They
yeah.
booed him every time he touched the puck. It shit happens.
Mhm. And yeah, listen, I didn't look at it that way. They talked about it a little bit after the game.
They're sensitive up there, dude. Everybody's say, like, I feel bad for these guys because they have I look at it like, fuck you.
Yeah,
Figure it out.
that's why you get.
Fucking Bieber's that back there with you. You got everything in the world. You're hanging out. You're doing everything. Like, you are King Dix
Mhm.
of the hockey world. And you can't figure it out.
Well,
You're going to get chirped.
What do you think Chief is thinking? I can't wait to talk
Change
to
it up.
Chief.
I know, Andy.
Because
Andy.
everything, and listen, Toronto's always had a reputation. I guarantee you he had his opinion of the Toronto Maple Leafs the last couple of years. I know for a fact he would have.
I know. I think we've talked
Everyone
about
has an
it.
opinion of the
Of
Toronto
course.
Maple Leafs.
You're the big dogs.
And it's always part of that hot stove discussion when you're at the rink, on a
Yep.
on a morning,
Of course. Yeah.
after a game or whatever, and you're talking about the rest of the league. Toronto tends to come up and whatnot. But I would imagine his opinion of what he was inheriting. I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was confirmed by this playoff series
Yeah.
or what. Because, they did have a good regular season,
Damn good.
you
They're
know,
a damn good team.
and they're a
Andy.
really good team.
They're a damn good
And
team.
you got a lot of people saying they may not ever have a better team
They're just
than
not top six.
what they put together, for this year's run. They may never have a team that's as complete or as good as this team. Now, I'd love to see them put resources into the defensive side of the game. There's still going to be question marks about goaltending. Stolars gets hurt. I think people are going to, certainly look at Joseph Wool and question, like, is he a guy that could take us to the next level?
He gets injured a
You
lot,
know,
but I thought he was pretty good.
He was. And, let in a lot of goals in games 5 and game 7.
I know, man.
At home,
I know.
right? You need your goaltender in those
Yep.
situations.
Yep.
But they need to be better defensively. And they need players, if the pressure is too big, they need players who can perform under pressure. You know what I'm saying?
McDavid and Draisaitl are doing it.
And they've got pressure.
The only
Nobody,
thing,
you don't think
Bring that up.
McDavid has
Are
more
you-
pressure than any player playing on the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Come on.
And he's never won. And I know, people are saying, hey, Ovechkin didn't win till like his 13th season, and Yzerman didn't win
of course.
until deep in his career. And they probably weren't. That's where the pressure is probably a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like the reaction following every year's playoff
course.
loss. Although people were hard on Ovi,
Yes,
especially
they
when
were.
Crosby's winning every year.
Who knows
You
how
don't
hard
think-
they are
You
over in
don't
the
think-
Kremlin?
You don't think Crosby had pressure coming into the NHL?
I know. How
being a
about Brady
phenom?
Tkachuk has pressure, in Ottawa?
Yeah.
Like, that's still like they're everywhere he goes, they're talking about, hey, you guys going to do something? You're going to make the playoffs.
So
Like,
yeah, there's a lot of pressure in Toronto,
Everywhere.
but that can't be the excuse.
no. Hey, little guy, it's okay. You just can't do it. That's what those two
And
are doing.
I'm sure Matthews wasn't 100%. Only judging based on the fact that he was hurt throughout the course of the
who is?
season. Right, but like,
Who is?
where's the rest of the team? Where's the rest of
Well,
the team?
it's built. It's not built that way. It's built for the big boys to step up and go toe to toe, and they just didn't do it.
Mhm.
So you build your team around the core four, like they got to dominate, and they didn't. They did here and there, but when it push come to shove, like they got worn out. They made
So
dumb
my
decisions.
point is the core four for Florida. If you were to say it's Kachuk and Barkov and Reinhart,
They were still
and
better.
Bennett, they were way better,
way better.
but they still weren't doing all the scoring. You
yeah,
know what
but
I
they
mean?
did so much, and it's noticeable. I didn't notice Matthews with the puck that much. I didn't notice Marner with the puck that much. I didn't notice Tavares with the puck that much. Matthew Nyes was okay at some of the games. He was getting breakaway, whatever the case is. But I noticed in the big time situations in some of these games that Barkov and fucking Bennett, And even Matthew, who wasn't that, he was a little sloppy. He's falling down in the corner, but he still held on to the puck. And he still just found a way to kick it up to the point.
Who you talking about?
Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't sexy. Like,
But
but
see,
he just did things, dude.
But Matthew Tkachuk, that he didn't play a game after the Four Nations, right? And you just watch him play, like that he's grinding through something.
No
you know
doubt,
what I mean?
but he's still doing things.
Still doing things.
I didn't notice
He
the
had
big
some
boys.
huge hits on Tanev. Tanev,
He's mean too. Like, come on.
and and Tanev is
I like him.
he does have warrior-like qualities.
He's a warrior. I like him. I'd take him on my team.
And any team would take him.
Mm.
But he's on an island by himself, man.
I know.
With a lot of that too.
So anyway, it's gonna be a long summer.
I'll be interested to see. Like I said, man, about Chief. He probably had his opinions of the team coming into the season. Were they confirmed, do you think? Or do you think he felt different about this team? Because now you're in the thick of it. He's answering the questions after the series.
I think sometimes a coach can only do so much too. I think he had a great game plan. He kept
People
those guys.
were critical that he didn't make adjustments with his line combinations, keeping Marner and Matthews together as long as he did. But I know how Chief is too, and it was just a 2 or 3 word part of his response when questioned about that.
What do you say?
Going into Game 7, he's like, I have split them up, and they haven't been very good.
Yeah, I've tried it. Like, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How about we put our best players together who are making a ton of money, who we rely on, and see what they can do. And if they don't perform, then you try with the best of the best, playing with each other. I don't know, man.
But they were being criticized during the game for their defensemen not being as active or as aggressive as maybe they should have been.
Okay.
Because they were down in the game. Like, you need to start pinching and
they were lost.
Start activating.
Andy, they were lost that whole game.
They just look like
they were lost.
So I know you're saying, hey, the pressure, it's a bad excuse because everybody has pressure. It's the National Hockey League. And let me go back to something that Roman Polak said to me a long time ago.
Huge wiener.
And I've shared this story so many times, but how. And when Polak played in Toronto, the team was not considered a Stanley Cup favorite. But they still had a ton of pressure and a lot of attention on them because you're playing for the Maple Leafs. And he said to me, I felt more pressure playing in St. Louis than I did in Toronto. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, in St. Louis, you have expectations from the coaching staff. You have expectations from management. You have expectations from ownership. And they're in your face. So if you're not meeting those expectations, guess what? You're hearing about it every single day. And you come to the rink and you're feeling that internal pressure. These guys aren't listening to sports radio. They're not reading, columns in the newspaper to feel pressure. And I know as media, we feel like, hey, we put on the pressure and whatever. And there's pressure from fans and there's all different types of pressure. But I think if the pressure starts internally, that's where you feel it.
Of course.
So players around the league, everyone deals with pressure. So I know what you're saying, but I do think it's a different animal. And for whatever reason, Cam, the proof is right there in front of your eyes. These guys look like the pressure gets to them, and they freeze under pressure. They can't play under pressure. They can't perform under pressure. And there's something to be said for that. And if that's the case, man, then you really got to look deep into this roster and find out why that's the case.
If that's the case, you can't play for New York, can't play for Vancouver. You're not going to be able to play for Boston. You're not going to play for Montreal. You're not going to be able. So we're just going to tag all these teams. Too much pressure. You know what's pressure? Dealing with Lou Lamoriello every day. You know what pressure is? Swallowing my chew when he walked in the goddamn locker room because he's evaluating every second of every move we all make every single day, where my tape has to be perfect, my thing has to be undone, I got to pull this down, no booze on the plane, no this, no social media, no that. That's pressure in my opinion. I got people chirping me online. So what? Shut that down. Shut that down. You're king dick of that town. Try dealing with Lou every single day and tell me what pressure is. Get out of here. I'm sick of hearing that shit.
Driving a free car.
These guys are making fun of you. Marchand and Matthew Tkachuk, they're chirping you guys. You don't even know it. They're fucking chirping you. They're looking at you like a little boy. You can't handle it. It's okay. They got too much pressure. We just shit stomped you 6-1. Get out of here. Come on. Eli Manning had pressure going against Brady. What do you do? Fucking threw a fucking bomb and they figured it out.
You don't think Toronto or Florida had pressure last year going back to Florida for Game 7?
Oh my God, that's 7-hour flight.
After losing in Edmonton?
You don't think Connor McDavid, look at Connor McDavid. And remember they snuck in with that video camera and Connor McDavid's like this. And remember we were chirping him? And then I saw that video, Andy. I go, oh, Jesus. He's like this. God, fuck you. Oh, fuck. And I'm like, oh, God. I go, oh, my God. That's pressure. He almost had a heart attack. Matthews had from Braden Shin the other day when they lost Game 7 to Winnipeg. He couldn't even look at the media. Andy's trying to ask him questions, and people are trying to. He's like this. Where am I? I'm so fucked up in the head right now. I don't even know where I'm at right now. He didn't even have that much pressure on him. They're lucky they were even there. No one expected that. He couldn't even talk to the media afterwards. There's just a different in the mindset with some superstars, man.
Yeah.
Some superstars are fucking psychotic like McDavid and those guys. Ovechkin's not really that way. McDavid and Crosby, they are. Marner and Matthews aren't. They're kind of like, okay.
And there's been good players that have come through Toronto that have seen that and have made the decision not to go back there, like a Ryan O'Reilly, for example.
They're like, whoa.
He's not dealing the pressure's not too big for Ryan O'Reilly. I just don't think he felt like that team was on the page of where he wanted it to be. Now, he went to Nashville, and you can make all your comments you want about Nashville. I get it.
I mean, Jordan Bennington, the pressure.
But I think his lifestyle, though, for Ryan O'Reilly, probably, maybe it's not the best comparison. Because he likes living in Nashville versus having to deal with, everyone knowing who you are and bothering you everywhere you go.
There's a good and
Toronto. You know what I mean?
Good and bad with everything. Like, listen, you're in Toronto, you're going to get, there's more attention, which is good. Like all you hockey players, you want attention anyway, especially when you play good. You want people to talk about you. Nothing worse than having a good game and all of a sudden you're Matthew Barzal and you look at the UBS Center or whatever it's called in New York and there's, 7,000 people there. He's like, what the fuck is this?
But what do you think of this? Let me ask you this. After Game 5, the way the game was covered and the reaction from the media was as if the series was over. And I remember tweeting, is the series over? Like,
I remember that. Yep.
And then Pronger,
it was.
Who was, well, hold on. And Pronger, and who was tweeting me back. He was tweeting.
He is? I didn't know he had time to do that.
And he was like, you have confidence? I'm like, well, you just never, could they go into Florida and win a game? Sure they could. I mean, I wouldn't be overly optimistic based off of how they lost and their track record. But I just felt like people love the drama. They look for the drama. People are writing stories about Mitch Marner having some type of conflict behind the scenes with management. Like, look,
everybody does.
Like, what are you talking about?
Who cares?
Because he hasn't signed yet? Because they lost badly? Like, you're going to put that story out now? What if Marner would have had a hat trick in Game 6 and scored in overtime to force the Game 7? What if he would have come up big last night? Then the way they wrote him off after Game 5, I just felt like...
Well, because they're used to it, and they were right.
Yeah, and they were right. They were right in terms of nobody saw them going into Florida and winning Game 6.
Everybody thinks that Mitch Marner, the only reason why he's not playing great is because he's got beef with management. You know how many other people have beef with their fucking management?
Shit.
Are you out of your
on winning teams?
You think you guys have the only problems? Like, what are we doing here? Mark Messier didn't even mean to quote himself back in '95. We fucking talked to him about it. He said they had a camera in his face or whatever, or the newspaper article. He's like, we will win. Like, he's like, oh my God. The next day, he's like, oh my God. Talk about pressure. Talk about pressure. This guy's like, what did I just fucking say? Everybody's talking about it. What do you go? He goes out and has a hat trick. Like, that's pressure. And you figure it out if you're a really good player. These guys they're not there yet. Mentally, they're not.
And that's why Chief's telling his coaches to calm down. And when they score a goal on a bench.
Savvy, although,
it's all good. No, I love Savvy. I'm just saying.
He's cool as shit. Yeah.
But I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we haven't done anything yet. You know what I mean?
God damn, man. Hockey, dude. It's just been crazy.
The narrative a couple years ago was like, they just got to get out of the first round. Well, then they get out of the first round.
We're acting like this is a Stanley Cup Finals. This is round 2.
No shit.
You're not even halfway there. Hey, what about
before we move on?
Yeah.
I want to send our best to Mark Scheifele.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about.
Well, you're like, what about what's next in the rundown?
Well, we were talking about Toronto. We talked tornadoes and we talked Toronto and Florida.
Yeah.
For a long time.
We'll explain what's going on because we keep having to stop right now. We can't say why. We were supposed to have a guest on.
Yes, a big boy.
The team is blocking it.
Figure out which team we're talking about.
And we didn't go through the team because we have a relationship with the player, and
he might get jammed up. So we're not. We
so
can't do it.
he's in touch. So we've been having to deal with this and kind of stopping the recording and coming back. But
Dallas and Winnipeg.
No, yeah, exactly.
Dallas and Winnipeg. We know that when I heard about Mark Scheifele, for one, watching him all year long, I really didn't pay attention to him until I really started doing radio and
Mhm.
really watching this guy. He is so fucking hardcore. He's so damn good.
Yeah.
He's fast. He's tough. He hits. He'll take hits. He took a beating from Braden Shin. Got fucked up.
Doesn't cuss.
Doesn't he?
No,
Doesn't cuss.
No.
A good soul. Keeps that team, keeps the pace of that team. And then his daddy dies. God,
Right before game
Right
7.
before game 7, he goes out there and scores a goal. Then he gets a penalty.
I know.
Had to take that penalty. And then they score.
It wasn't a bad penalty. It was a
Wasn't a
penalty
bad-
he had to take.
Oh, then he's in the box, man, and they show the camera on him. Oh, God. It made
Every-
me almost cry.
Everybody was hoping that
Made me almost cry, Andy.
that Winnipeg was going to kill that penalty off. Nobody
I
wanted to
know.
see Dallas win the game
Harley.
and win the series
Yep.
with Mark Scheifele sitting in the box after taking a penalty. And the scene of Adam Lowry going to the box and consoling his
God.
close friend
Yep.
and longtime teammate was emotional. And to see him go through the handshake lines
I know.
was emotional. To see him talk to Mason Marchman, who had just gone through this a few
With his
years
daddy.
ago.
Yep.
I remember sitting at the draft when the announcement was made. And, at the draft, I mean, there's so many hockey people there. So many people had a relationship with Mason Marchman's dad,
Yep.
who
Ryan.
was a warrior
God,
for a
tough.
long time
Woo!
in the NHL.
Tough.
That rocked the NHL community.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what Mason was saying to Mark Scheifele in that
I know.
moment. Because, in a way, I think it's safe to say that Scheifele probably still hadn't processed what had happened.
No. Nope.
He's not with his family. He's on the road. He's got a game 7. He's at the hotel.
So much going on in your head, man.
And you just wonder after that game if it all the reality just set in.
It did. For sure. Now, do we know, was it a sudden thing?
It was sudden.
Oh, God. Oh, Like
Kevin
a heart
Cheveldayoff
heart
came off and
attack, you
said
think?
that. Well, you're assuming, but there's no real definitive
yeah.
information in terms of
Maybe
what
I thought that he was going
happened.
through a tough time.
No.
If my mom passed away when she did, what she was going through is a little bit different. If she was healthy and he didn't expect it, there's a
This is completely unexpected.
ay.
And we all know the relationship that the players have with their dads.
If you're a hockey player and you have a dad in your life, he's a big part of your everything. He just is. And I thought maybe when I heard that news, I thought Dallas was in trouble. I thought Dallas, because sometimes, listen, hockey players are human too.
Mhm.
They won't. You might run somebody through the boards, you might knock them out, but if something happens on a different team, something like that, everybody kind of goes into you kind of feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for the Toronto Maple Leafs because they have pressure. Don't give a fuck. But if your daddy dies a night before you play an important game,
The day of, really.
the day of, I'm human, man. I look at you like I might go soft on you.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And that's me saying
Like Jamie Benn, who punched him in the face
Punched him in the
earlier
face.
in the series.
He's probably like, what the fuck?
He's probably not
I
doing
know.
that.
Andy, that's just
In Game
it
7.
humanizes everybody when something
And you
happens.
saw Jamie Benn, how his interaction with Mark Scheifele. I thought it was extremely emotional, man. It just
Oh,
shows
man.
you where hockey players are at. There's
They're
nothing
awesome.
like it. There's no sport like it.
You're
There's
right.
nothing like that in professional sports where these guys will absolutely try to destroy one another, end their life, essentially. I hate to use that term
No,
right now.
hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then turn around
And feel bad for you.
and give you a hug
Yeah.
seconds later.
Yeah.
There's
Emotional.
nothing like it. And you see how much energy and what they put into it.
He's a warrior. Mark Scheifele. God, I would take him. Oh my God. I would take him on my team. I put a C on him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
So our thoughts, man, are with the Scheifele family, are with the Winnipeg Jets family.
Yep. The Jets, you guys did good all year. We were hard on
Yeah.
Hellebuyck.
And
He
Hellebuck
had a-
came through
he
in
came
the
through.
second round, man.
He
had
did
a
look
really,
good.
really good second round.
We were posting some negative stuff. And Andy and I even talked to each other like, God, we're so happy and funny on here. And sometimes when we post things, it's all negative. Like
Yeah.
I felt bad for Hellebuyck too. I don't know, man. He looked pretty good in that game. He did.
Mm-hmm.
He looked a lot better. Now, was he great? No.
No,
Is
but he-
Ottinger
but-
better? Sure.
But he had the shutout.
But we were hard on him.
earlier in
And
the series.
I was too. He had a shutout. I don't know, man. That teared me up a little bit.
Even when
Andy.
he was struggling, even against St. Louis, you go back and look at, he made some unreal saves
He
in that
did.
series too. That
We were
save-
hard on
that
him.
save on Neighbors at one time. He made a save with his paddle of his of his stick, trying to recover on a 2-on-1.
Ottinger takes a puck and he spins around, makes a
Oh.
big save. Like the both goalies went toe to toe.
Ottinger was amazing.
He was
too, man.
awesome. So I don't know, man.
So that's going to be a great series with Dallas and Edmonton. I felt all along, man, that it just feels like it's Dallas this year. They've been knocking at the door for so long.
They're good. 7D.
The fact that Pete DeBoer, who has had so much success as an NHL coach, there's no question he's the best coach to never win a cup at this stage right now.
Yeah.
Unless I'm forgetting somebody.
No, he didn't. He didn't win a cup.
No, unless I'm forgetting there's somebody else, whatever, who's had just as much success in the league right now and hasn't won.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah,
it's like I don't think there's anybody who's had more success than him and hasn't won.
Came close.
Who's been doing it as long as he's been doing it.
Yeah.
So I feel just like, it's almost meant to be for Dallas, in the Ben Sagan era, that they do get it done. They're going to have to go through Edmonton, man. I mean, Edmonton, what scares me about Edmonton is the fact that now they've got confidence they can win low-scoring games. I mean, they're winning 1-0 games in overtime. Their defense, to me, doesn't suggest that that's a recipe they want to follow moving forward and make a habit out of winning low-scoring games, because I don't know if they're built that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if the goaltending can sustain that level of play and how long they can do it. You just wonder, is Skinner going to be able to, continue to ride the wave that he's on right now? So,
well, maybe that's why they are playing that game, to protect him a little bit. Play defense first, and if Connor McDavid gets an opportunity, no doubt, and if Connor McDavid gets an opportunity because somebody done fucks up on the blue line, then go for it. Draisaitl, go for it. But otherwise, let's sit back and protect our goaltender and our defense.
I don't think they're worried about individual numbers and who's doing all the scoring and but they're getting the veteran guys, the Adam Henriques and these guys that are stepping up and scoring goals, the depth guys, which Toronto never gets. It doesn't have to just be about McDavid and Draisaitl. It naturally is, because these guys are so good and so great, but other players are stepping up. That's the difference between them and Toronto. So if Matthews and Marner aren't scoring, who else is going to score? Who's going to step up for Toronto? Nobody else steps up. You got other guys.
Who all scored for Toronto? They still scored some goals. Who all scored for Toronto? If Matthews and Marner didn't score that many goals, who else scored the goals? Domi had a couple big ones.
Domi had 2 or 3 goals.
Okay. So who else?
Toronto.
Did Matthew Nice had a
Nylander had 3.
Nylander had 3.
Who I would take on my team.
So would I.
And
actually,
I feel like
he tries hard.
He's probably like he's on an island sometimes. You talk about the core 4. He's probably like,
he's like, fuck me.
Where's the other 3?
I know.
What are they doing?
You're right.
He's just got ice in his veins.
It's a core 1.
Man. That's what I like about Nylander, man. He's just got ice in his veins.
I like him.
So you think he can't handle the pressure?
Okay, so he's got 3.
It doesn't even affect William Nylander. He doesn't even feel the pressure because he doesn't worry about it.
He still didn't play that great, though.
No, but he just goes out there and plays.
But he still could have stepped up and turned the tide a couple times, and he didn't do it.
I get it, but it's not always on 1 or 2 guys, man. You know what I mean?
No, it's on 4 guys.
Pacioretty had a couple of goals.
There it is. Pacioretty had actually had 2 good playoff
Morgan
series.
Riley had 2 goals.
Okay.
Domi had 2.
Okay. So you're getting depth.
Nyes had 2.
Okay. You're getting depth.
But when's the last time Nyes scored? He didn't score in his last 4.
Okay, but those guys still scored more than...
He didn't score. So he didn't score in the last, since game 3. And now you get to Tanev had 1. Marner had 1. Matthews had 1.
So you had your depth scoring kept you in the
Yarn
playoffs.
Kroc, no goals. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, no goals.
Yeah.
Scott Lawton, no goals. McCabe, no goals.
playing
Carlo,
well.
no goals. Steven Lorentz, who had a breakaway, no goals.
Yeah, they kept getting breakaways.
David Camp, no goals. Holmberg, no goals. Benoit, McMahon, no goals. But
you still got, instead of your core 4, you got still a lot of goals from other players.
You did?
How many did? Okay, so how many did
they scored? How many goals? 4 goals in the last 3 games total as a team.
They all sucked.
I mean, they scored a couple goals early on in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, early on in the series when they won the first 2 games, which they didn't win in dramatic. I mean, they didn't destroy. They were like 1-goal games.
If Matthews and Marner and Tavares would have scored a little bit more, and they were really pulling and driving the fourth, but they just couldn't do anything else, and then your secondary scoring didn't show up, then I'd be like, you didn't have any secondary scoring. But when those guys didn't show up and drive the force with anything, then I just feel like it's on them more than your secondary. Does that make sense?
Marchand had 3.
Go ahead.
Bennett 3. Verhaeghe 2, Barkov 2, Jones, Reinhardt,
Those are big boys.
Gadjevich,
Those are big boys, though. Come on.
Luosterainen,
They're a better.
Lundell,
They're a
all
better.
had 2.
Listen, Florida's a better team. They're battle ready. Paul Maurice is a shit kicker too. They're battle ready, dude. They get in your face. They hold on to it. They make it. They're chirping. They're threatening. They do this. They do that. Bennett will come down and just cruise right by your goalie and maybe bump. Like they're just. They have a different
He does
element.
it so quietly, and they don't take
Doesn't
bad
say one-
penalties, man.
He doesn't say one word on the. He doesn't get. He doesn't take that many penalties. He doesn't
No.
say one word on the ice.
Matthew Tkachuk doesn't take bad penalties either.
No, he doesn't.
None of these guys do.
And he wasn't. I thought he was going to get frustrated because he didn't get that many scoring chances, but he didn't. He just did his thing, and he couldn't bump into you. He'd fall down and throw it right up to the point.
But he had some great assists and stuff like that. He still
That's
made
one
some,
couple
cross
one-timers.
ice,
Yeah, I remember that. But anyway, what do you think of Carolina and Flaherty?
I don't know. I'm
and
excited.
Flaherty?
I'm excited to kind of watch Carolina a little closely because Carolina Washington was the one series I just couldn't get glued to the television to watch.
They're pretty
I
good.
tried, and I
We're
feel
getting
like
chirped for not
they're-
giving them
well,
credit.
there's one or two people, Carolina fans, have their team back, and this is going to be maybe this is Carolina's year too.
It might be.
I've felt since the first round that
Might
hey,
be.
are we headed to a Carolina-Dallas Stanley Cup final? You know, I don't know if the league would love that or not, but
it is what it is.
you just never know. Is this Carolina's year? Because we're waiting for Carolina to get over the hump, too. They're going to have to go through Florida. They got swept by the Panthers a couple years ago, if you remember.
Yeah.
Did every game go into overtime? I think every game was a one-goal game, including one game that was a 4-overtime game in game 1.
I'm not going to discredit Carolina, man.
And their goaltender's playing great right now,
I think
too.
Florida's going to have a little wake-up call. Although they had a wake-up call with Toronto. They had a wake-up call with Toronto.
They were down.
They were down by 2. Everybody's pumping Toronto up like no other. And they just fell
Remember
apart.
in Toronto? I mean,
You had them.
the celebration after being up 2-0.
You had them. And Florida now is like, fuck, we've already been down by 2. Okay, so what kind of surprise are we going to get from Carolina? I think trying to get to the net's going
Is
to be
Florida
tough.
ever going to get tired?
There it is, Andy.
You know what I mean? They've
it
been to the
is.
Stanley Cup final each
There
of
it
the
is.
last 2 years. Are they ever going to?
Yes.
This was a 7-game series. They got a turnaround starting tonight, Tuesday night, game 1 of the Eastern Conference final.
Who else has been through this in the past 25, 30 years? 3 years in a row where they're in the mix.
Well, Chicago had won 3 and 6,
Yeah,
right?
3 and 6.
And they went to the Western Conference final a couple
Okay.
times in there.
So they had a grind.
LA, maybe.
LA
you know?
in the 2012, 2014 era.
They may have gone deep. They had another run where they went deep.
Maybe late 90s with Dallas. I know
Oh, Dallas had a couple.
where they went all the way through and they lost, right?
Yeah, they went to the final and back
Devils.
years,
Devils
right?
did the same thing where they bounced back
Yeah.
in 2003.
So,
anyway,
it's
you could
like-
do it.
Yeah.
You could do it.
I do think you get a little bit fatigue. You just wonder.
How could it not?
But as long as they get the goaltending they're getting right now
Ah,
from
look good.
Bobrovsky, then they're going to be a tough out, man.
I mean, just drama.
And the way Marchand's leading. And if you get Seth Jones playing at that level.
He made that play on the blue line, dude. Seriously. If you really look, I was like, that's offsides. No, it's not.
Would you take
He let it go. And he just kind of chilled, waited. Then he went and got the puck.
Would you take
Really good
Aaron
play.
Ekblad on the Blues?
Oh, hell yeah. God, yeah, man. With that flow. He does do this a lot. Every time
He's
I don't
got
give a
some
shit.
gamesmanship and stuff. I don't mind it.
He's
man.
good, dude.
Sometimes he gets caught flat-footed.
You mean the guy that's on the power play, penalty kills?
Yeah,
tough?
Seth Jones is kind of taking his spot on the top power play.
Still
but
out there
he
doing
gets
his
out
thing.
there.
Yeah.
But he's tough. He can skate and move the ball.
Would I take
when
him?
he's
Of course
skating,
I
when he's
would.
not playing flat-footed, sometimes he gets himself caught in some bad
not a great
situations
skater.
defensively.
But we were, have you noticed Seth Jones? I'm like, nah, not really. We're like, he's not a very good fit. And he goes out there and takes that game.
We were going to have a monster on the podcast,
I know.
just so you know.
Oh, yeah. It actually makes me mad now.
So I had a rough day yesterday also. I was very upset about something.
A lot of people have rough days.
Well, I've been
over the
through
week, just so you know.
I've been through 2 tornadoes. And
It wasn't considered a tornado
well,
when it went
it
through your
was
house.
when
No,
it-
it wasn't.
massive trees,
scientifically not a
massive
fact.
trees blocking
Doesn't
my driveway,
matter.
and my
That's not a
fence is
tornado.
destroyed.
That's scientifically
And we had to
a
get
fact that
go
you were
in the
wrong.
basement. We had to go in the basement.
So everybody did.
I mean,
There's people that died, and you're worried about you.
No,
It's
I'm
always
not,
the
I'm not,
case.
no, I'm not worried about
It's
me.
always, no. You always
upset.
act like I have a one
Cam,
tree down. Get your fucking
and
chainsaw and cut it up.
I
Get
appreciate.
your chainsaw and cut it up. These people's brick buildings collapsed on them and killed them. They didn't even have sirens out in
And
North
we're
County.
thinking about
We
all
have
those
$700
people.
million allocated who knows where in St. Louis from the goddamn Rams fund, and you can't get the fucking sirens working in North County? Yeah, they really look after you.
I'm thinking about everybody who
you're thinking about
lost
yourself.
a loved one, and who is
You
dealing
chirped
with
me with my neighbors that got rocked
Can I
too,
just
and the
say
people died.
that I appreciate every single one of you that asked me if I was okay and if my
shut
family
up.
is okay.
Maddie, what are we doing?
Everybody who reached
He's
out.
a victim. He loves to be a victim. Maddie, you know what I'm talking about with this. Andy wants to be a victim. He wants to get all the attention. Like it's like guys on their birthday when they're like, "Thank you for telling." Get out of here.
What do you mean?
I know what
you
you're
don't
doing.
like when people say that on Facebook? Thank
Thank
you for
you
everyone
for
for reaching out.
Out of here.
I think you should say thank you. If a lot of people,
Andy's the victim of all the people.
If a lot of people reach out to you and say happy birthday, shouldn't you say thank you?
I don't know.
It made my day.
I don't know. It's all good. It's
Okay,
all
so
good.
let me finish what I was saying. I just appreciate each and every one of you that reached out to ask me, took time out of your day to say, "Are you okay?" Except this guy.
You are okay. You were texting me all day long.
No.
Who do you want? Somebody to cut that up for you?
I went silent on
Get
you
out
to
of here.
see if you were ever going to ask
I had people. They're still
is
cleaning
Blay-
up the tornadoes by me.
Is Blay okay? I thought
He's
you were,
fine.
I thought you were going to ask that. He could get out now because of the fence being out.
He's a victim. Andy's a victim.
Okay, so that wasn't the only reason why I had a tough day. Let me just tell you this.
Did you see a couple things that went down?
Hold on. So that was part of the reason why I had a tough day. The other part was, give me a minute.
Go.
Because I'm having a hard time with this. Angel Reese.
Oh, Jesus.
The way she is handling herself on the court, her antics, what she's doing to Caitlin.
Oh, Lordy.
What she's doing to Casey is...
Yeah.
Yeah, I might need one right now, actually.
Here, take a sip.
It's not noon yet.
Yeah, it is. It's 2:30.
I'm sorry. Oh, shit. It's not 6 p.m. yet. Anyway.
I ain't got no kids,
Okay,
boy.
so flagrant foul. You're going to call that a flagrant foul?
She tapped her.
I mean,
she flagrant fouled somebody else.
Oh, yeah. She came down hard on her. And Angel Reese, who's got a low post game, not much away from the paint, can't go to her left, can't go to her right. She
can't
rebound
go
the ball.
She throws like this.
Did you see her flail? Her arms go flailing?
Yeah, she's LeBron.
And then the WNBA puts a statement out
about racism.
Like, what is going?
That's why, right there. No one takes you guys seriously with that shit.
You had Portnoy out there at the game, like to give you guys attention, and all he's talking about is how terrible. First off, he had to pay for all this shit, the food and drinks and everything. He had courtside seats.
No one hooked him up.
There's no all-inclusive like food or whatever. So he's got courtside seats on the floor.
Yep.
And he's going back to the club that you have access to by having seats, but you got to pay for the drinks, pay for the food, and he gave like the pizza review was like a 1.4 or something like that. Oh my
God.
It was
so
and then he's like, I was at the game. It's all little girls and moms and wives, and they're cheering, yay, we love the Fever, yay. They're celebrating. It's a sold-out crowd. It's Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. It's not an angry crowd, okay? It's not a hockey crowd. It's not a hostile college football crowd. It's a WNBA crowd. He's like, I didn't hear one thing yelled that was offensive, that would be considered racist. There's no proof that anybody has it. There's somebody that says it. And the WNBA comes out and makes a statement. The Fever comes out and make a statement when you don't even know who's saying it. There's no one, no one's pointing fingers at one individual. No one's being accused. No one has it on video. No one has it on audio. It's a terrible look for the WNBA. And if it's true,
was well said.
If it's true,
sure,
then absolutely, then maybe you have a reason to put out a statement and say we don't condone this. But don't put out a statement when you don't even know who's being accused of saying it, and there's no video or audio proof.
They can't help themselves. They want it to happen so bad when something bad happens to her. They just want it to be racism so bad because that will counter her inability to be able to play the game or whatever, or try to keep up with Caitlin Clark. So like, there's always some rate holding her down, and it's such a lie to where people are just they're sick of it now. They're sick of it. They're sick of people calling everybody racist and Nazis and Hitler and all that stuff.
Caitlin's the
People
only
are
thing.
like, fuck you.
The only thing they have going for that league is Caitlin Clark.
No doubt, man. Angel Reese, there's a lot of people that hate her, and rightfully so. She's cocky in her interviews. She thinks she's this. She does it. I mean, it's. Although I do think she's kind of hot.
Angel?
Yeah, I think she.
I'd like to see her.
I think she's kind of fat.
She needs to get to 20.
People chirp her for her looks. I'm like, I think she's sexy.
I'd like to see her average 24 and 13. I
don't
mean,
care
she
about
should she should be 24 and 13
She gets a lot of offensive rebounds
from
because
her own misses.
I know, it's just really odd. The whole thing is weird. So
Did you see the foul though?
yeah, it's so funny how
Brody, put some video over this, man.
Yeah,
like
he will.
That
was a good statement.
You gotta see.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Did
you
I?
said it perfectly. Yeah. I was wondering where you were. I never know you.
Well, what I
Because
say?
you must not have been to the Creve Coeur Racket Club, because who knows? They're probably screaming racism.
What were you
other.
gonna say?
The exact same thing, but you said it way more eloquently.
Well, where's the proof? Who said it?
I no doubt. It's where's the proof anywhere when you hear this stuff?
Dude, everyone's been to games. People have phones going everywhere, and audio and video.
Doubt. Who says that?
And nobody has a phone out and be like, that person just dropped the
Have you ever been
slur.
and listen, maybe in Philly or, but have you been to a sporting event where somebody's throwing the N-bomb out? Like anywhere?
Have you
a white
ever,
guy?
Have you ever
Have you
heard
ever
it?
really heard that and no one did anything about it? Are you kidding me? You ever been to a Blues game and heard somebody throwing the N-bomb? Are you out of your mind? You get jumped by everybody. It'd be like, what?
Your face would be
Your
all
face would be
over
like,
the
look at this
internet.
guy. He just said that they'd follow you everywhere, all the way out
Your
to your
life
car.
would be ruined.
They would follow you to your house. They would come in. The FBI would come in. The CIA would come in. They'd come over with helicopters
The
and take you out.
WNBA, you get one of the more recognizable sports figures at the game wearing a jersey. Okay?
Yeah.
And he leaves with nothing but bashing the WNBA.
Rightfully so. How stupid
And
is
the
that?
food.
This is
And the food.
Well, yeah, listen, there's going to be shitty food everywhere. Like, it's okay. Like that, I
No,
can't.
but like there should be like all-inclusive
If I'm the
areas.
WNBA, I'm taking Portnoy. I'd be like, come here.
No
you
shit.
got
I know you're going to be all over like
Tweet
doing
about
videos
us.
and shit like that. Like, let's make sure you say something good about us.
Of
What
course.
do you need?
Well, that's their marketing campaign. It's not about that.
What's it about?
It's about politics.
Hate.
Everything. Politics. Every white girl that comes out is like, I'm here because of black women. Like, Jesus, okay. Like, okay. Like, if I'm a black woman, I'm thinking, like, shut the fuck up. It's just like what Matthew and Brad Marchand are talking about the Leafs players having it too hard there. They look down upon you like you're a little child, like you can't fend for yourself. That's the same thing, I think, with when it comes to all this kind of racism
Caitlin
stuff.
Clark's final box score was 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks.
She's already tied with
32
somebody.
minutes. They won 93-58.
And she's tied with somebody already. She's played like 50 games. She's tied with a big superstar
For the all-time record.
Get out of here.
Dude,
did you see-
93-58 was the final score.
Did you see Chaser's tweets about Canada?
Oh my God.
It's the funniest fucking thing.
He's saying like
Chaser.
Saskatchewan should be like,
You want to read it? Should I read it?
yeah.
It's
He's
just-
saying Saskatchewan should be the 51st state.
Oh my God. He don't give a fuck, and I'm here for
Stephen
it.
A. Smith said
What'd he
Caitlin
say?
Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese was a basketball play.
Oh, dang.
Did you see my response to RG3?
I liked what RG3 said.
Yeah, but I said it's not that deep. Like, just relax. It's
No.
basketball.
No, it is that deep.
But he's like, she just hates Caitlin Clark.
No, that is 100% true. You think she likes She hates her.
Yeah, she
Hates her. Your little white girl taking over your spot. Are you out of your mind? She hates her.
She hates her.
What are you talking about?
But I just
He's
think-
exactly right.
But I think it added fuel to the fire.
No, it's true. He's 100% right. I don't agree with everything he says. He's 100% right on that. I watched that whole
thought
thing
he was
today. He had the
saying-
girl in the background drinking coffee.
I thought he was enticing the. I didn't watch the video.
Chaser.
I thought he was enticing the racism angle.
She probably hates her because, listen, white people can only be racist? You don't think she is? She probably fucking hates her.
She hates her.
Hates her because she's white and a better athlete than she is.
No, and she gets more attention.
No shit.
Caitlin Clark.
Everybody can read races.
Caitlin Clark.
Asians, fucking Native Americans, whites, blacks. We all been through
Is
fucking
Caitlin
shit.
the highest paid player in the league?
I don't know.
She should be.
Fuck if I know.
She should be the highest paid
Well,
player.
of course. I have no idea. Probably not.
She should just quit the league. Could she?
I know.
Could she go make money doing something
Yeah.
else? What could she do?
Play over in Europe and probably make more money and get treated better.
Yeah. Or she could say, "Hey, ESPN, I'll come be your analyst."
Why doesn't she
or
play in the
something.
NBA?
No, she could.
Wait.
No, I would.
Wait.
I would like to see her play.
Why doesn't she just play in the NBA?
Yeah. Well, because I don't think
No,
Trump.
Andy.
Trump wouldn't want that.
Why not? No, Trump doesn't want.
No, he doesn't want biological women playing with men.
Ah, that's right. Is that the reason why?
He doesn't want biological men playing with women, but I don't think he would want biological women playing.
But
with
why
men
not?
either?
Isn't she good enough?
Oh yeah, she's good enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why is she just playing the NBA?
Yeah. No, she could probably play.
I dare you to tweet
No,
that.
she could play the point or the two. She
no,
could,
no. Andy, it's all good.
She
I
could
love
play,
you.
She could play.
You had some. You've been on a game today.
She could have.
Besides the tornado thing, you've been on a game today, and I felt bad for you a little bit.
I survived.
Why
it.
don't? It wasn't a tornado. How dare you denounce the African Americans downtown?
I'm not, dude.
How dare
Stop
you
saying that?
How dare you denounce them?
They
went
got
through-
hit hard too.
They got hit harder. They got hit by an actual tornado. You got hit by headwind. It
See-
was forming over your house. It didn't get you yet. Why don't you tweet this out? Hey guys, why doesn't Caitlin Clark?
Cam's so mad because I got hit by a tornado
I knew
twice
you,
now.
No,
he hasn't.
You
had,
didn't.
He hasn't
no,
got
you
hit
didn't.
by
That
one
wasn't a
ever.
tornado yet. Why don't you tweet out? Hey, why doesn't Caitlin just play in the NBA?
Well, I kind of like that idea.
Tweet it. Want you
No,
to-
I do feel like she, her game speaks for itself.
She could play. You're right. I think you're right. And the Creve
And
Coeur Racket Club understand the same thing.
with the way that she's, now using her left.
Okay, so did you find something? Say, why does she just quit the WNBA and play in the NBA and make more money?
Okay, let me
And
just,
act like you're dead serious. Because
I
I
am-
know you are.
I am.
No, I know.
serious.
I know.
Like-
That'd be a great post.
Because I just feel terrible for her.
So when he does this, can I tell you guys something real quick? Did you see that goddamn Mexican boat on the Brooklyn Bridge? And
So
they
what do I say?
say, God, she takes a lot of she doesn't say, why doesn't Caitlin just quit the WNBA and make more money and play in the NBA? Did you guys see the Mexican boat that sailed into the Brooklyn Bridge with all those guys on the top ledge? And they're like, and they hit the Brooklyn Bridge going backwards and they all fall down and some of them died. What the fuck was that all about? So weird. Watch that video. Check that mug out. This sailboat is all like, I don't know what the fuck is celebrating Mexico. And they ran into the Brooklyn Bridge going backwards. Knocked all the sails down like blam, blam, killed a couple people. Really odd. Odd things are happening. I don't know why. Helicopter crashes, plane crashes, boats fucking running into goddamn bridges. I don't
Should
know.
I follow it up like she doesn't deserve all this hate,
Yes.
controversy,
Yes.
drama?
Yes. Do it.
She doesn't deserve this.
And don't put LOL. Don't put any
No,
emotion.
that's not LOL.
You're dead serious.
So why doesn't Caitlin
Let me look
just
right
quit
quick.
the WNBA and go make more money and play in the NBA?
Oh my. Perfect.
And then should I say she?
No. Post that. Post that. Just post it. That's goddamn hilarious. And I'm
But-
going to retweet it right now. I swear to God.
Should I?
Do
I
it.
need to understand. People are
Andy.
just too much drama.
Why wouldn't she be able to play in the NBA? She's one of the best basketball
There's
players
this-
ever.
She doesn't need all. She doesn't need all the drama.
Yeah.
Doesn't deserve all the drama. So anyway, so I was just
So Andy just posted
very
that.
upset by that. Listen. A couple tweets went over my head. I'm not happy about it. I'm
What?
glad that you told me. Well,
What?
one was RG3. I thought he was.
I liked his.
And then the other one was Brad Marchand. I just.
Yeah. Get real. Get real. You get lost in a couple things here and there, and you need to get real. It's all good, baby.
Can I gotta give Ace a shout out. I really felt like
Does he know he's getting chirped? You think he does?
I don't know, but I will say that Ace.
He's good at what he does, though.
I felt bad for him yesterday. He was like trying to
What?
he just wasn't like, Biz is doing his thing with the Maple Leafs. You have Colby Armstrong doing like his thing,
Yeah.
and
Ace is like, I don't have a
Ace
skin
is
in
like,
the game.
dude, I don't have a skin in the game. I'm not trying to like be comedy guy either. I'm just like, dude,
I'm breaking things down.
I just want to break it down.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I felt like he was just kind of like, what are we doing type thing.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you, man.
And I felt what he was saying.
Yeah.
And I give him credit for kind of handling it the way that he did.
I know what you mean. He's like, I don't get that. Just like I say, I've never been a fan of anything, really. The Blues when I was a kid.
He was like, it's
now
3-0. Why is everybody being so negative? They could come back and tie the game.
Yeah.
Like, their fans should be supporting
He's actually
this
rational.
team. Like, they shouldn't be booing at the end of the second period.
I don't care about that.
He's just like, I know, and I'm with you.
Yeah.
But his point is there's a lot of hockey to be played.
Yeah.
And then they come out and score right away in the third period. It's a 3-1 game.
I
know. Florida came back and scored just after that. But still, it was a 3-1 game. Like,
I agree.
You just never know. Like, he's trying to, like, analyze it, like, professionally. You know what I'm saying?
He's a professional. You have to have a professional.
And he just was being, like, overpowered.
Yeah. And look.
In that moment.
Entertainment.
And I felt like he was very annoyed by not being able to, like, have, like, a real conversation.
I agree with you. Entertainment trumps everything. Mm-hmm. It just does. So if it's an entertainment thing where business getting chirped and blah, 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 you kind of have to roll with that where he's just got to sit there and be like, I don't give a fuck. The Toronto Maple Leafs winning, that'd be entertaining, but it's not making me money. It's not affecting my family. I don't need to be emotional. I get enough drama I'm dealing with at home and trying to do this and that. I need to be like level-headed.
People are calling me out for calling myself ace.
I'm getting chirped on the internet more than anybody because of this whole ace thing. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, I just want to watch the game and break it down.
Chill and be cool.
Just let me break the game down for you.
Break it down.
And Biz, you guys could do that, but just let me chill. I knew exactly what you're talking about. He's like, I don't have skin in the game.
I just sense that. He's just not, he just doesn't have a dramatic, emotional opinion to tag it with. You know what I'm saying?
What's the latest with that?
Ace.
So Westhead came out and posted
the trial,
and he posted all the
Westhead.
Rick Westhead, right?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Westbrook?
Westhead, I think.
Westwood.
Yeah.
Westhead.
Westhead.
So anyway, he posted the dialogue between the players after the incident that happened with the girl. And I'm thinking, like, what'd they do? You know? This girl went back with one of the guys, and then she wanted to get banged out by the rest of them. And they came in. Some stood there and laughed, and some other ones, she started doing things to everybody. And they actually have her talking and recorded that she wanted it. And I just don't. Where's this going to go?
Now it's judge only. The jury's longer. The jury's saying that
like,
one of the defense attorneys or one of the defense teams for one of the players.
It's the whole process that gets
you.
You could be innocent, but the process is what's going to set you back. Like, you're losing millions of dollars not playing right now. Right. So it's the process. So it's going to take such a long time. And these guys, I don't know where this is going. Didn't they already pay her out back in the day? And then now she came back and said, So it's kind of a weird situation.
There's one guy who's like kind of giving me a recap every day. I just listen. If somebody can do me a favor and just give me the Cliff's notes.
Never.
Where are we at?
Never do this to a girl ever. Just so you guys know, I told you this a million times. If your buddy goes back with a girl and she's craving everybody else too, don't even jump in on it. There's swinger stuff that goes on that everybody. This is a different story. You're basically a professional athlete at this time. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Even if she begs for it. You can't have a 5-on-1 bullshit with a girl, 3-on-1, 2-on-1, any of that. Have fucking 1-on-1 scary now. God, if I'm a player now, man, and I meet a girl, I'm scared to death that she's gonna hate me. What if she does? Even if you had made sweet love to her all night, she could say something and you're fucked. I'd be really, really worried.
Didn't it happen to that baseball player?
Yes, Trevor
Bauer.
They did it on purpose.
And the team like got rid of him and shit?
He's losing millions of dollars, man. He's playing in Japan, you know? And he's a weirdo too. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a weird guy, but like, these guys are all fucked because the process. It's not even getting.
You know what I say?
It's not even being guilty. It's the process again.
It's always been my fielding philosophy, anyway.
Excuse me, sorry, dudes.
Get a girlfriend.
I know.
Get.
Yeah, but what do you mean by that, Andy? Go get a girlfriend. Well, what if she's not the right one, and I'm still single because I want a perfect girl?
I didn't say go get married.
Beat your dick off.
Okay, no. Listen. This is where my
go
advice,
get a girlfriend.
My advice is so much better.
Andy's like, get a girlfriend. Listen. You don't need to force and then hate her. She's not you don't like her. So get a
I
girlfriend.
didn't say you have to marry
How
her.
do you? No. But still having a girlfriend, you're leading her on if you don't like her.
So you
so
can
why?
So if you
No.
desire a relationship,
find a
an
girl.
intimate relationship, have one that's not going to risk your career, and that you don't have to go to a hotel room where like so and so brings her back, and now hey, who all wants to jump in on this?
Let me talk to me about this. Andy's never been through this game in his life. It's all good.
But get a girlfriend.
But if you find a girlfriend, you might not like her. And she could do the same thing to you because you don't treat her the way you want. You're going to find a girlfriend, but you're still going to hang out here and there. You can't just find a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend because you love her. Like, you want to move on with this.
Yeah, but here's the difference.
Wait. So I say find 2 or 3 that you know that are cool.
Okay.
And then you do that. That's not a girlfriend. That's a friend with benefits.
Okay.
Girlfriend.
That's fine.
We're going to have a girlfriend. Now she's going to be like, you don't love me. And you're using me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to fucking say something that you did.
Here's the deal. Because, like, you know, people who aren't famous or who aren't professional athletes or entertainers or...
I'm not talking to you. We're talking to pro athletes.
Right. So they can
do
a lot. They can live this lifestyle.
No shit. My buddies are banging
and
everything in town.
nobody's coming after them.
They don't give a fuck unless they own a huge construction company, but it's not going to even get into the papers.
Yeah.
No one knows who you are. They know all these guys.
Did this girl originally... She didn't originally go to the police. Her mom told her to go to the police. Is that how it worked out?
Something like that.
Like, did she tell her friend it was, like, fun or something? I don't want to.
Friends probably told her that she can make a lot of money.
It's just so much. This should be on court TV so we can all follow it, so
and
I can,
learn
like,
from
know
it.
what the hell is going on,
and the players can learn from it.
And
it's scary.
I hope these players, you know,
I read the whole. They're texting each other.
Yeah,
they have it all on Twitter, or every text message. I don't know if it's every because
do you think that was scripted?
No.
Because they were like, just tell the truth, which is the truth. We didn't
do anything.
Yeah.
She wanted to blow all of us.
Right.
That's what they're talking about. They're not saying that they didn't bang her. They're like, no, she came and she wanted to fuck all of us. And so,
this
boys
is
like,
after
come on
Hockey Canada got wind of it, right? And they were going to be meeting with Hockey Canada.
So, yeah. And so they're like, come in the room. And like, that happens in juniors. It happens in college. It happens all over the place. A girl's like, I want to fuck all these guys. Like, sorry, I know my daughter would never do that. Well, some daughters do that.
NBA Central just retweeted me. They've got like 1 million followers.
That is so funny. Oh my
God. And I'm being honest.
Oh my. So Andy, tell the people what you posted.
I said, why doesn't Caitlin just quit the WNBA and go make more money and play in the NBA? She's above all the hate.
So brilliant. That is a brilliant tweet.
Yeah, and I mean that. And plus,
I even retweeted
plus
it.
her ball handling can allow her to do that.
I
too.
can't wait for people who are going to be so.
Wait. She can
people
use her right. She can use her left. She can go to the hole. She can jump back.
Even her highlight reels. Caitlin Clark, love you, but your highlight reel stuff isn't even as cool as a
not
fucking worst
true.
NBA.
Not true.
It's not even close. She barely even jumps. Listen. It's so funny because I can't wait to see what some of the people that like Andy, like whatever, like kind of think like maybe she could. I can't. They're so confused with this tweet. They're not gonna. Most people are gonna be like, "You're a fucking idiot. You're virtue signaling," like rightfully so, right? But some people are gonna be like, "I think he has a good point here," and they're not gonna know how to react to it.
Put her in the NBA.
It's so brilliant. That's what Norm Macdonald would do.
Okay.
That tweet is what a Norm Macdonald would tweet.
Pop would bring her on the team.
That's the funniest thing in the world.
Pop would bring her on the team.
Andy just act confused. Like, how dare, isn't she the best player in the world?
Popovich would bring her on the team.
You know shit. And Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr's son's name's Nick. And I know those guys talked about that well, we talked about that years ago too. I brought it up. Steve Kerr named his son Nick. Is he fucking stupid?
What do you mean? Don't
say it. No. What's his name? What's his name?
Nick.
Nick what?
Nick Kerr.
Whoa! God dang, boy. Whew.
Are you being positive
I'm
about
starting
that?
to sweat, Maddie. I'm starting to sweat. Okay. Say it again. What's his name?
Nicholas.
No, it's Nick.
What's his real name is Nicholas.
How dare
it's
you?
probably, you know what?
Why would you name
Let
a
me
kid
tell
that
you,
way?
because I'll tell you why.
Psycho,
I'll tell you why he might have done it.
He's a psycho anyway.
Steve Kerr's dad died when he was very young. It could be.
Yeah, I know. We heard about it from a gun in Middle East when he was doing a. Who knows what he was doing?
That could be his dad's.
He was like.
That could be his dad's name, dude.
I don't care. Then why would your grandpa?
You're going somewhere where I would have never ever thought to go.
If anybody out there thinks that I'm wrong on this, that is
please
odd
let
to name
them
your
know.
son Nick / Kerr, then you're out of your fucking mind. Why would you even attempt to do that? Too close. Makes me uncomfortable.
Are you sure that that's the name of his son?
Yes. We talked about this years ago.
You
homie.
better know about.
We talked about this years ago, homie. Antonio Brown almost got killed the other day. The hell is he doing?
What did he do?
I don't know. He was at like some rapper. Then they all jumped him.
Nicholas. Oh, they call him Nick for short.
Oh yeah.
He's the head coach of the Santa Cruz Warriors. I'd like to see Caitlin get 28 minutes in that game.
How's your tweet doing? Oh God, is that goddamn funny?
Put her in the Put her in the NBA.
Oh, it's so good.
Get her out of that league. She's too good for the league.
I think. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Oh man. No, I know. I love it.
He's serious. Oh no, he's referring. I asked another question.
Anyway, so we got Derek Lalonde on, by the way, who's probably going to get a job here soon.
Are you trying to be clever or witty? She's a phenomenal athlete and a fantastic in the WNBA. She would not make an NBA roster. The talent level disparity between the leagues is immense.
No, everybody's getting serious.
You guys
see what I did?
No, she can play in the NBA.
That's why I love it. That's so
She
funny.
could play in the NBA.
That's so funny. She could play in the NBA.
Put Hillary Knight on my power play, too.
Oh, yeah.
Net front.
Big time. What's the soccer player's name? Megan Rapinoe. Put her on the goddamn U.S. Olympic men's
She can
team.
control the ball.
Yeah, big time. They lost to 15-year-olds.
She's married to Sue Bird.
They lost to 15-year-olds.
The hockey team did, too. To like 13-year-olds or something.
Yeah.
Like 7-1 or
badass
something.
13-year-old players are good. Imagine like Brownie's kid, Matthews' kid, Brady, Clayton Keller.
Matthews' kid, Walt's kid.
Walt's kid, Frederick. They all play against, at that age of 13, playing against the women's team. I don't know. They might beat them.
The women's national team? They probably would beat them.
At 13?
Sure.
I know. How dare you say that?
Oh, I don't mean that. I don't mean the. I mean a. I mean a.
Oh God.
Oh, God. I mean a 13-year-old girls team. They would probably beat. Damn. I'm all for equality, Cam.
I know you are, man. I know. How about those? Do you see those fucking inmates in goddamn Louisiana?
Oh, did they find him?
Did you see those motherfuckers
11
sneak
of
the
them.
fuck out?
How'd they get out?
There was a bathroom, and there was just a fucking hole in the bathroom. They snuck right out, and some of them were still cruising around. What would you do if they came to your house? Would you be like, "Come on in, the wife's upstairs. Make yourself at home.
Can I make you a sandwich?
Can I make you a sandwich?" What would you do if they banged on your door?
Hi.
What would you do?
Well, I had a lot of
just
people
curious.
banging on the door the other day, and I have had
What would you do?
because of the tree that's down in front
Would
of
you
my
get a
house.
hockey stick?
Probably
Is that
a
the first
box cutter.
Yeah. Took down a plane.
I know it did. That's not why though.
So
It's just-
anytime Andy, I chirp Andy about he needs to learn how to shoot guns. We all do. Like you just need to do it. If you live in the United States,
bow and arrow,
yeah, he's a hunter gatherer. But then he brings up the box cutter, and I chirp him for it. But then again, that fucking box cutter took down jumbo jets
really?
and slammed into the goddamn
Did
World
it
Trade Center.
really?
Yes. Box cutters.
Damn.
I would have ate one of those just to save the day, I think.
I'm just saying I do have one that I
You know?
use for protection.
So anyway, we got Derek Lalonde on. He was great.
Derek
Great-
Lalonde was fantastic.
He was great. Good guy.
We were
a
supposed to
guy.
have a monster.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. It's all good. The Rangers shut it down. We'll put it that way. The Rangers shut it down. It is what it is. Let's go. You're on your phone too much. We're delaying. Let's go. We had a good first half. Now you're slowing shit down. Let's go. I'm going to have to edit all this out. Let's go, Andy.
Just really upset.
He's looking at his Twitter. Why doesn't she just play in the NBA? That's so fucking funny. You're going to confuse so many fucking people. It's so funny.
Did they find the inmates? Where are they?
Don't know.
All
In
of them-
goddamn
all of them are
Louisiana.
still-
Yeah.
And they're like, they're armed and dangerous. They named each one of
They're
them.
probably like, don't worry, they're good people. No, they'll get you.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you were in jail and you had like 5 years to go and all your buddies were escaping, would you go with them or no?
5 years? Hell no, man. You're gonna get caught.
So what do they get?
I don't want to be on the run.
So what are they getting now when they get
You're better
caught?
off in jail than on the run.
So what do they get off? What do they get now? When they get caught, how many additional years?
10, 15.
Really?
Yeah. Depends on what they do. They steal a car. Did they rob a house? That all tax on everything.
All the charges.
You steal money. You have no money. You're going to go steal money. Then you're putting your family in.
I remember when I was a kid driving through a rural area, and it was backed up for miles and miles, and there was a manhunt.
Yes, I've been through one of those too.
And cops, you had to go through each car. If they got the guns out, they look into your
I've
car.
been through those too.
They look into your car to see.
A lot of people have.
It's like one of the scariest moments that I've ever been through.
Yeah.
As a kid.
No, there's manhunts that go on all over these small little towns all throughout the U.S. Manhunts. It could be anything, man. And they're in this small little town. They make horror movies about that. And it's actually real life shit. You're goddamn right. What are you going to do?
Manhunt.
What are you going to do?
So these guys right now, are they living in the woods?
They're probably breaking down. Listen, you go to North City, you can find an abandoned house, crash there, but you have to eat. What are you going to do?
Can't they go find some dudes just go hang with, shoot some craps, whatever, and they're like, hey, stay here for a few nights?
Out of touch. You think those gangsters want more gangsters in their neighborhood? They're going to fucking put you downtown Chinatown, boy. Think they're going to let those motherfuckers in?
Somebody the other day had a video out, said it was the most dangerous neighborhood in the country.
St. Louis. Those kids walking through.
Well, I've seen that one, but this was a different one.
I like those kids, man. You watch those kids on.
Oh yeah, they're cool. What's up? What's up?
You found that too?
Oh yeah.
Where they're walking down through East St. Louis,
and the guy
they got a little cart,
and the guy who's doing the interview, he's cool as shit.
Yeah, he's cool. He's like, I've never had so many bugs on me.
Mm-hmm.
They complained about the bugs. They're walking from East Coast all the way to the West Coast. They don't even have that many followers. We have more followers than they do. And these two kids walk through East St. Louis the other day. They get into Missouri, and they're like, listen, they found this little pavilion.
See that.
I've been watching them.
They're walking?
Yes, they're walking from one into the...
Like just down the highway?
Yes, with this little cart.
What kind of shoes do they have?
I don't know. Forrest Gump shoes.
You know Cooper Flagg had got a shoe deal, and they gave him New Balance shoe deal?
Oh, yeah, the old man.
The one white guy. Who's the number one.
Oh, no.
They can't even get some damn Nikes on this guy. They got to give him New Balances.
Mm-hmm.
He's the number one overall pick. We finally have one. A number one overall pick in the NBA.
How dare you?
Oh my God. I'm just saying. I don't even mean it that way. I don't even mean it that way. One guy, white guy.
I gotta take a break.
WNBA or NBA, number one overall pick, Cam. And they give him a New Balance shoe deal.
You're already nerdy. We're going to make you extra fucking nerdy.
Here's some orthotics.
Jesus Christ. You fucking mow your lawn with those goddamn
Get this guy some fucking Jordans.
So anyway, these kids go down East St. Louis. They get into middle of Missouri. They're on the Katy Trail, which is like this badass trail. You know exactly
trail.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So they're in the middle of Missouri.
Used to have asbestos over there.
So they've already...
Used to have Times Beach over there.
That's by me in Eureka.
Times Beach.
Settle down. So anyway, they went from goddamn East Coast and they hit Missouri, and they're like, I've never seen so many bugs.
Oh, my God.
They're like, the snakes are out of control.
White snakes.
Stop with that.
No.
Wow, you love white people.
Oh,
it's unbelievable.
Cam.
White this, white that, white fucking basketball player, white neighborhood.
Praveen came over and
here.
said, white snakes.
He's out of his fucking mind. He's snorting curry. He needs to chill the fuck out.
White snakes.
White snakes. White Snake is an 80s band, actually, just so you know.
It's a hair band.
They're actually pretty good.
They were.
But anyway, these guys have said, I've never seen so many bugs. You got fucking those stink bugs, or this, or that, spiders, the snakes. He's like,
mosquitoes is what they're referring to, and gnats.
I go, it's just goddamn May. You're lucky this isn't July. You'd be fucked. He's like, the humidity's got outrageous.
It's hot, outrageous. There's been so much rain here. We just had the heaviest rainfall.
I'm like, you guys don't even know. Try August.
We had the heaviest rainfall in April history.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Heaviest rainfall. It's been raining. I mean, and you know, including a tornado that just came through.
That missed you.
Which I was luckily able to. My family's okay and everybody's okay, luckily. But we have a destroyed fence and we have a tree that's down.
Those people lost their lives.
I know they did. I'm thinking about all those people.
The African Americans downtown lost their lives.
They
did. You're kind of supporting one group, and I don't know if I like it. You know,
I'm supporting everybody, dude.
I don't think you are.
People in Clayton, North St. Louis, downtown. I'm thinking about everybody.
So, anyway, a lot of shit going on here, man. But we got Derek Lalonde on.
What a chaser!
Oh God, Chase! Oh, he's stirring up some shit on Twitter. So goddamn funny. He doesn't give a fuck, and I'm here for it, kind of thing, you know. But he goes, let's see. Come on, Saskatchewan and Alberta. Let's combine and figure a way to join the U.S. Let's give our families and friends a chance to have things they can afford on their own without generational wealth What just happened in Canada is like shitting your pants and changing your shirt. Let's do this.
Okay, so what happened?
Woo!
What happened in Canada?
Well, they elected.
Was he talking about Game 7? Was he talking about
they're
Game
talking-
5?
Just the election.
Because that's
I'm
what
sure.
happened in
They
Canada.
elected kind of the same guy. Although I got chirped for saying that Carney was,
They
the same-
elected him.
the same as Trudeau. And then somebody's like, no, he's way more conservative. I'm like, oh, okay.
So Carney
So,
got it.
Yeah.
They have an interesting electoral system over there.
It's odd.
It's like different.
It's different.
It's
Yeah.
not Republican, Democrat. It's like all the different types
So,
of
it's
things.
all good. Chaser's just on it.
Okay, I'm talking about that. All the
You don't
different-
even know
you
what's
don't
going
know.
on.
You don't have any idea what's going on.
Because we don't care here.
Yes, we do.
We don't
I
care
care.
about their election
That's the
that
difference
much.
between Cam and
We
I.
don't
I
care-
care about you, Canada.
No, we
I care about all y'all
Now you do.
in Saskatchewan.
A lot of white people up there. No wonder you do.
It's not true.
He doesn't care about the people that got rocked in goddamn North City.
Yes, I do. Dude.
No, you
I
don't.
went to
He only
school
cares
with all
about.
of them.
Oh yeah, you did at Parkway North. You went
Yeah.
to school with. Are you kidding?
What do you mean?
See that? See, Andy acts like he's a gangster too.
I am gangster.
He denounces all
No,
the
I
real
am
gangsters.
gangster.
No, you see, he denounces the real gangsters out there fucking doing their thing. Andy thinks he's one of you. Andy thinks he was in the same tornado as you. He wasn't.
I got to give a shout out to one of our
A lot of white people.
one of
we've been
our
talking about lately.
listeners
I don't like it.
who had a crazy upbringing. He's been working on a book for like 5 years. It comes out June 3rd. Everywhere. iTunes, Amazon, Kindle, Target, you name it. Yesterday he got his first copy. He sent it to me. So I guess if you're familiar with Sammy the Bull Gravano, Cam,
Yeah.
from the Mafia,
Gambino.
John Gotti's underboss,
Yeah. Okay.
he has a quote on the back of the book, actually. But it's called A Gangster's Life. And he grew up with like in a terrible situation and served several years in the Canadian penitentiary. Now he's, I think, sober. He's off of whatever.
He's a fan.
He's a big time fan. And he sent me a copy of his book. He's from Saskatchewan, and it's
Well,
called
send
it's
it
called
to
A
me. Why do you not
Gangster's
send
Life.
that to me? Like I'm the one that's going to read
Because
it.
I'm way more caring than
Because you
are.
don't read
I'm
books.
way more
I do.
caring than you are.
What books have you
So,
read? Name me $10. Name me $10.
Jack Kerouac's books I read.
Name me $10. Go ahead.
10 books.
Name me
You're
10
putting
books.
me on the spot.
Name me 10 books.
I don't want
Name me 10 without hockey. Go ahead.
to. Maddie.
Name me
this
10
is
books.
Ridiculous.
Name me 10 bucks.
I could do it.
Name me 5 books. Just name me 5 books.
A road traveled.
Okay.
Every rose has its thorn. Brick path. Wallow. Hold on. Water is not the same everywhere. No, that's a book.
Wow,
No,
Maddie.
no,
Maddie.
no.
See what I mean? Name me 5 books. Name me 5 legit books that you read. Go ahead.
Name 3
Name
of
me.
them.
Name.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a fuck.
This is Lori's books in the bathroom that fucking she looks at. They're on the side of it, and he looks at the title. What's that book about?
What's that?
The last one you just said.
About like believing in yourself. Having,
Okay. Okay. Wow. Sometimes I gotta put you downtown Chinatown.
No,
Just
I
like that cougar. That fucking cougar today grabbed me by the fucking arm. She grabbed me by the arm like she was mad. She said, "Keep making fun of Andy." I go, "God
Oh
dang,
my
woman."
God.
I go, "God dang, woman."
She probably,
Like, Jesus. Like, I will.
no, she probably slides into
That's
my
why.
DMs.
That's why.
like,
Shit like that.
Like Willie McGee.
That's why. You couldn't name 5
Just
books.
slides on in. Willie, like
Holy
Willie McGee,
shit.
head first.
Whoa.
Helmet popping off.
Whoa. Andy reminds me of those OnlyFans girls on that one podcast that they ask him questions.
Alice
they have no
Cooper.
fucking clue about anything.
Alice Cooper. She's got like a show on.
Alice Cooper.
That's her name? Alex Cooper?
Alice Cooper is a fucking rock band.
I know.
Baby.
I know
He's
who
a
that
shit
is.
kicker
I know.
with a
him.
snake on his neck.
Yeah, he's
badass.
an Oilers fan. Or a Kings fan, one or the other.
He doesn't like hockey.
Yeah, he
Everybody
does.
thinks that Andy thinks everybody likes hockey.
He does.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He does like hockey.
Alice Cooper doesn't give a fuck about hockey. You know. Everybody loves hockey.
How to Get Rich Under 40.
Exactly.
It's another book. It's another book.
You don't read shit, dude. I got obsessed with books, man. Obsessed.
Become a believer.
Oh, yeah. Become a believer. Get on with yourself.
You want to know another one?
Get on with yourself.
You want to know another one?
No, I don't anymore. Lie to people.
Why vegan is the
Oh my God.
No, hold on.
Fucking cookbook.
Hold on.
He's giving me cookbooks.
Cooking vegan.
Cooking vegan. Jesus, Murphy. Vegan. So anyway, we got Derek Lalonde on. And
Do you want more books?
no, you embarrassed yourself enough. We're not editing this out. Like, my God. So funny.
Oh,
I didn't even mean to do that to you, but I feel like I just have to sometimes. Because you get in these phases where, like, I read that. No, you don't.
Traveling the Pacific
No.
Northwest.
A map. He's reading a map. Get out of here.
Best farmers markets in America.
That's funny.
Dude, I've got...
You don't know shit.
You're putting me on the
You don't know
spot,
shit,
and
dude.
so...
It's all good. It's all good. Somebody did chirp me about
Jerry
Andy-
Garcia's...
Andy's still figuring out how a tornado forms, although it is very complex. But you can't give me one detail.
Everyone would have said...
Name me just
Well, now
one,
that I've seen... Now
one
that I've,
detail.
now that I've actually...
Give me one detail
now that
of
I've
a tornado.
actually been through two in my
give
house
me one detail
and like
of a tornado.
5 in my life.
How do they form? Give me one thing that needs to happen.
Well,
One thing that needs to happen in a tornado formation.
Heavy winds. The wind tunnel.
A wind tunnel is when wind
Yeah,
goes
go through
through buildings. Or
I
whatnot.
get that.
One thing. It could be one.
It's the
one
circulation, dude.
rotation. Just say rotation.
Rotation. That's
Wind-
another
you know what
book.
wind shear
How do
is?
tornadoes form?
You know what wind shear is?
Wind chill?
Shear.
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
It's
Angela Huddy over
it's
here.
It's
It's Angela Huddy.
She's a weather lady here
It's
in
my
town.
girl right there. She'll fucking tell you. She told me level 4. I'm like, God damn, girl, what's
Oh,
up?
that's why you told me that.
She's on the fucking ball.
Oh,
And she listens.
You didn't quote her.
She listens.
You didn't
dude.
quote her.
That's fucking Angela Huddy, dude. She fucking listens.
You didn't quote her when you sent
my
me
girl.
that text. I go, what kind of storms are we getting? You said
She
level
knows
4.
every
Like,
time.
Cam's like, level 4.
That's what she. I gotta go by what she says.
Says it every time.
So level 4.
Level 4.
And I told you, and I said it's coming. And all of a sudden, you're like, I got
Doesn't ask me how I am, if
And
I'm
he-
okay.
Because I know you're okay. Because I know a tornado didn't hit you. You're okay.
It went right through my house.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Destroy my fence, dude.
If that was an EF3, your house would have been done.
I don't
fucked
think
up.
we had an EF3. I
Especially
think we were at an EF2.
Especially your Hoosier neighbors' houses that are built by fucking cheap ass fucking wood.
I think
Those
we
things would
had-
have been done.
I think we
so-
had an EF2.
Not by you. Not by you.
Let me. I'll send you other trees. that
Let's
are down,
go.
too.
Let's look at it. Let's look at the goddamn thing. Let's look at the trajectory of what happened with that tornado.
Well,
It
let's
missed
do that
you.
after. Cam and Strick
Let's go.
podcast
We
brought
gotta
to you
go.
by First Form, baby. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
I take that magnesium.
Use
at
our
night.
link.
I take that magnesium.
I'm taking everything. I took like 15 pills this
I
morning.
take
all
collagen
the
in the morning.
vitamins.
My face is starting to look better because I'm hideous looking. I just, oh God,
My skin's looking
My
better
face
from
looks
the
like
collagen.
shit. it does.
My
help.
hair is longer. My nails are healthier. Ty's birthday's tomorrow.
Oh,
The day this
9?
comes out.
9.
Yeah. Why don't you say
Happy birthday, Ty. I love you. I do. You're a dang good hockey player. Your daddy don't know shit, but listen to him. Not about anything else besides hockey, besides maybe what you need to do around the house and stuff like that. But if he starts talking about weather, just be like, get on with yourself. Just do that to him. Love you, buddy. You're doing dang good. Handsome kid.
I don't like when people like die. You know what I'm saying?
Who does, motherfucker? Like, who does? I went to my dad's house, man. I bought him a fucking $60 steak.
You didn't pay for it.
Yeah, I went to Deerberg's.
Oh, you bought him a $60 steak.
Yeah, and I
Are my steaks still good with my power being
I'm
out
talking
for a
about
couple
my
days?
dad. I'm talking about my dad, who
Real
could
qu-
be like.
Okay,
I'm just saying,
but
like,
are
because
my
you don't care.
frozen steaks still good? They're still frozen.
Yeah, just let them thaw out now. Don't go freeze and go back and forth with the temp, dude. Like, if they're already thawing out, you might as well cook them.
I don't think they've thawed out though, all the way.
How long? 48
The
hours.
salmon stayed frozen.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
They thawed out enough to where if you refreeze them, it's going to taste like shit.
I didn't.
Do you not get
I
that?
didn't open up the freezer.
Then you're fine.
I
You'll be
never
fine.
opened
If
it.
it's still frozen, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the milk and stuff like that, it's got to go.
Gotta go.
Turkey, got to go.
Fuck it. Turkey goes bad quick. Go. All that stuff. Yogurt.
You
cottage
know, when I
cheese.
was hunkered down
Hunkered
during
down.
the tornado,
Like in World War II.
like when we
World War One.
when
He's in the trenches in World War
when I'm
One.
thinking about my family that is in other places, my kids aren't even home, and I'm in the basement taking shelter. I don't know where I would have been if I didn't have my First Form meat sticks,
Yeah, those don't have to throw away.
and those helped us
Protein,
survive
your
when we were
creatine, all that stuff.
when we were trapped down there,
Vitamins.
when we were stuck down there. for several hours
You're fine.
because of the tree and everything that came down and the fence being destroyed and everything else. So
Well, people feel sorry for you, dude. They do.
Cam and Strick, or firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Yep.
Oh, your dad's house. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say
No, you
because
went-
he doesn't matter to you.
No, you went to your dad's house.
He doesn't matter to you.
Yes, he
You know?
does.
No, go ahead. Don't worry about him.
No, tell
Fucking
me
have
about
to take care of him. Fucking dragging him around the house, have to shower him.
Oh
have
my
to put his
God,
goddamn-
you do?
Gotta put his goddamn underwear on for him. Don't worry about me.
No,
It's all
you
good.
don't.
He can't fucking move his leg. I gotta fucking pull his goddamn jars up.
Really?
His goddamn jars up. Fucking legs bleeding.
Okay, time out, dude.
Then I gotta fucking.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Well, yeah.
You're showering him?
He can't shower himself.
Okay, well, let's look at a nurse.
No, he's
Let's
got
look-
nurses. But I gotta help him
I
around
know-
the motherfucking
I know
house.
you're a nurse. Let's get him
He
a
don't- Andy don't care about that.
let's get him a 24-hour
don't care about
nurse.
Don't worry
he can
don't worry about my dad.
So he can have care.
Or he 24 hour, that costs money, boy.
Well, what are you going to do? You going to do it the whole time?
No, he's got to suck it up until he needs help.
He does need help.
I can't fucking
he
shower
gonna-
him every day. He's going to have to shower every 3
Is he
days.
going to get better now?
Yeah,
Can
he should be.
Can he get to the couch?
I cooked him a
Can he
fat
turn
ass
the-
steak for the first
can he
time
turn
in
the TV
3
on?
months.
Can he turn the TV on and stuff?
Yeah, he's got a brain and fingers. His knee's fucked up and he can't walk
Oh, it's
around.
his
He's,
knee.
Yeah, he had surgery on his fucking knee that got infected and through his whole body and fucked up.
Damn, dude.
You know, but don't worry about it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know, big time.
I hope he's going to be okay.
You know,
And I hope
he had to do that with my mom.
I hope
like
you-
my mom was a fucking.
Okay, and I hope you
had
guys
to carry my mom around the fucking house,
Oh
and
my God.
showering her, taking her to the bathroom.
You had to do that?
My dad did. My dad did. And that's what
you know,
happens.
It's funny. It's interesting when your parents get older. My mom is 75, and I find
She's getting older, yeah.
I find her more needy.
Oof, you think? Oh, I go over there. I'm just nonstop. Boom, 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 boom. Got to do shit. My Uncle Danny goes over there nonstop. My Aunt Patty goes over there nonstop.
No, it's like
Kate takes him everywhere, picks him up, drives him everywhere. Can't
she
drive.
just wants.
We order him groceries. We fucking do
She
this.
wants to help with everything. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't need it, she takes it personal, and it's like you know. You have
Wait. She helps you with it.
She would just want. She said, what do you need? What do you need? Well, we had no power, and we were, you know.
Oh, see, Andy relies on his 75-year-old mom
No,
to
I
take care of
don't.
him.
I'm like, we're fine.
I'm helping my dad he's needy. He's like, can you help me with this? I'm like,
Her leg hurts too, though.
You know, it's always about you. The one-upper. Those poor victims down in North City. Andy had it worse than you.
I didn't say that.
Andy had it
I'm
worse
thinking
than you.
about all you people.
All you people out there should listen to Andy.
I'm thinking of
you should
everybody.
feel bad for Andy.
Everybody who was affected by the tornado.
Feel bad for Andy.
Especially those that lost loved ones. Who
Lost
have,
lives.
Who have serious injuries. My situation is
fence
not
is
nearly
fucked
as
up.
bad as yours, and I'm thinking about all of you.
There it is. That's all you had to say.
And I love all of
That's
you.
all you had to say.
And we're thinking about
That's
you.
all you had to say.
And I'd like to actually do
That's
like
all
a,
you.
like
How
a,
about you fix the goddamn
like-
sirens downtown?
I'd like to do a drive or something to help.
How about you fix
raise-
the sirens first
Can we-
downtown
can we-
so these people actually know when a
I'd like
fucking
to.
tornado's
I'd like
coming?
to raise some like
No sirens.
like clothing.
Those
drive.
people don't even care about you.
I'd like to have a clothing drive or something like that.
Those politicians don't even care about you. They don't even care about
That
you.
we can send to the neighborhoods.
Don't even have sirens that go off. You can't even fix that. Get out of here.
I'd like to have a
I know what you like to do,
clothing
Andy.
drive or something.
No
to
one
support the needy.
Let's go. What else? First form. Let's go.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Hell yeah.
Get the bars. Dude, have you had that strawberry
Not yet.
cake?
Not yet.
Oh my God. I meant to bring one in today. It has like the jelly filling. Dude,
Ooh,
all you
that
people,
sounds good.
listen,
That sounds
order
dang good.
these First Form strawberry smash cake bars. They're the best bars I've ever had in my life, and I mean that.
Okay.
They've got the strawberry filling on the inside. Oh my
I'll
God.
eat the shit out of that. How many grams of protein?
18, I think.
Makes you horny.
Hey.
Makes you horny. Just like these bad boys in here.
Strawberry smash cake. Send me a picture of it. Let us know how you feel.
Screaming freedom. Right here, baby.
Oh, those
Love
will be great for
Those
the
are damn
4th
good.
of July.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for 4th of July. Can't wait for it.
Let's hope all the damage is cleaned up by
We got
then.
more storms coming tonight.
Okay. Cam's the downer.
No, I'm
Hey,
the
well,
realist.
once we get through the
Yeah.
one
Here-
storm,
here's
Cam's
Andy.
like, here comes another one.
Because it's true. And I've been right every single time. And now you're affected by it. And you're fucking...
Do you know that Mitch
You're
Marner,
acting like a goddamn victim.
Marner
but
said-
yet you don't give me credit
they
for
asked
telling
Mitch
you?
Marner after the game, they said, how you feeling? He goes, depression.
He's okay. He's making $11 million. You're fine. Get out of here. God, you guys all feel sorry for so many fucking. It's like all these fucking geeks, man, that look up to players and athletes, and you actually feel sorry for some of these guys. Like, they're fine. They're fine.
These geeks.
You fucking geeks. You just like look up to these guys. Like, I feel bad. They're fine. Look at your neighbor. See what he's going through. These guys are making $12 million a year.
I'm devastated.
Get the fuck out of here. Drive me nuts.
Angel,
They have too much pressure.
keep flopping, Angel.
Jesus, Murphy.
Get a left hand.
Got no time.
Get a
for this
left
shit.
hand.
Get a left hand. Get a right hand.
She is playing above the rim,
I
though.
mean,
It looks like her vertical.
Can she jump?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They can't even jump.
Oh, yeah, she can.
Oh, God. Play in the NBA?
You see
tweet
that
that out.
5'9"
You should tweet that out, too.
running back from Boise State
No.
dunking?
Yeah, I see guys dunk. All my buddies dunk.
Your buddies don't dunk.
The fuck they don't.
What buddies?
I got Jason used to dunk in high school.
Never.
Jason did.
Never.
He dunked in high school.
In a game.
Andy, yes. Andy thinks
Give
he's
me
the
a
best
video.
athlete. My buddies are 20 times better athletes
All
than
right,
you.
Get me a video of that. Of him dunking.
I will.
Okay. Let's get the video.
God, other
'Cause
my buddies.
This guy,
do, too.
he's like, what, 5'9"?
I used to dunk.
What's he, 5'9"?
Yeah.
And you're saying he's dunking?
Yeah.
In a game?
I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't know. You can't listen.
He's a better athlete than
Cam
you.
doesn't know what a dunk is. Watch
He's better-
Angel
I
Reese.
used to dunk.
Angel Reese has some thunderous dunks this offseason.
That's funny.
Not a fan of hers.
Tweet
though.
it.
I'm not a fan of hers
Tweet
though,
that.
right now. All right, so firstform.com/Cam use our link and do it today. Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Right there in Swansea, Illinois. Derek, Jacob, Eric Conley, we love all you guys, man. They do damn good work. Check it out right there in Swansea, Illinois. Illinois Recovery Center. They have a bed waiting for you. You have to do this for yourself. It could be anything from booze, painkillers, Adderall, Coke, meth.
Can you be
I don't give a
addicted
fuck.
to Adderall?
God, yeah. God, yeah.
Are you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I would be, though, if I took it every day. I can go find some right now.
What
but
is
if I took
Adderall
it every-
used for, typically, when it's prescribed?
to stay up and to focus,
Like
but
if you have
after
a
a
test
while,
or something?
yeah, or you just you're busy or a construction worker.
What
you
if
know,
you're
during
like
the
a
game.
pilot?
You get tested for that. You'd have to have probably a
Do pilots have to test before they
yeah. I
do the
think so.
plane?
Piss test. I'd say not every time, but if you get
'Cause
piss
I've
tested,
been at hotel bars shit-faced with pilots.
no,
before.
I know. So
And I'm like, dude, I hope you're not flying tomorrow.
female pilots,
I haven't seen too many
female
of those.
Stewies,
Oh, Stewie's, yeah.
they're everywhere.
They're wonderful.
You know they're a party. All those Stewies are all parties. They all like to party, for sure.
Okay. Illinois Recovery
You
Center,
wouldn't know
right there
anything about
in Swansea, Illinois. IRC, baby.
IRC,
Chrissy,
Eric, and Jacob Miller. Love you guys.
all three of them.
Damn right.
Hat launch, baby. I think we're meeting up with them tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. I got to
Let me
talk
know.
to them.
Let me know.
We're going to be shooting some content for Hat Launch, America's #1 source for customized hats. They make the best hats in all of North America. Nobody does it better. Best quality. And they get them to you in like a couple of weeks. So if you own a business and you want to put your business logo on a hat, or if it's a baseball team, softball team, fantasy football league, basketball team, hockey team, whatever it is, a number of hockey organizations here locally have turned to Hat Launch to order their products. You should do it and do it today.
Yeah, they'll get them to you really quick. Do a damn good job.
And they fit
Love
so
you guys.
nice. And Danny and everybody.
Yep.
Can't wait to meet up with these guys, man.
Hell yeah.
No doubt about it. True Float, baby, over there in Alberta. True shit kickers.
Well, I tell you what, that tornado probably went through and probably caught a couple guys. And if they had a true flow cooler, none of the beer's spilling out.
Well, none of my. It didn't mess up my
Always
coolers.
about him.
Didn't mess up
It's
my coolers.
always
I've
about
got
Andy.
a couple True Float.
Like it's always,
coolers.
what are we doing?
I got a couple True
Always
Float
about
coolers.
Andy.
How do you spell True Float?
TRU,
Yeah.
float, baby. And I'll tell you this right now, though, if you did get hit by even a monster,
Mhm.
that son of a bitch ain't moving. That thing is, that thing can go 10 miles in the air and flop down.
Won't
It
even
ain't-
have a
It's not
dent.
opening. The beer's not even going to have to shake up.
What if
It's
it was
so
a
nice.
Yeti, though?
Oh, it'd break in 2 seconds. Break apart in 2 seconds.
Yeti's a bunch of.
Pansy asses. They are. Compared to True Float, big time. Big time.
Mhm.
I'm telling you what, that damn thing could fall out of your truck going 95 miles an hour.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing.
They also have the heated chairs. And the best part about the logo are the coolers and the heated chairs. They put your logo on there, too.
Yeah, I like that.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
So the logo on the cooler looks unbelievable. So if you have any golf charity auctions, stuff like that, and you want to get a logo on the cooler, do it today and do it now from True Float.
Damn right.
Where are they from?
Edmonton, Alberta.
Yeah, Alberta.
Edmonton, Alberta, baby.
Oh, yeah. Bolt Sports, baby. Take your stick handling and your game to the next level.
Or just try to keep up with everybody else.
That's
because
true.
they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Because what they're doing, yeah.
They're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you got to fucking keep up. You got to have extra stuff at your house.
It's called the Dangler.
You have to have extra shit at your house if you want to keep up with the
Dangle
game,
bar.
You know?
Get the Dangle bar. Get it today. I think you can order individual Dangle bars too. You can get 3 of them, which I prefer. Then you download the app, and then, like, say Cam's at his house, not stick handling very well, not putting in the work, but I can say, hey, do you want to have a competition? He could be at his house, I could be at my house, and we could do it together. And your kids can do it with their teammates when they're at separate houses.
Yep. Competition, you want that always. Even with a team, you want that too. So keep up with the pace.
Yeah,
you have to have one of those.
keep up with
for
it.
sure.
Boltsports.ca. Check out their Instagram. Say hi to Sam Bennington.
Sam, what up, baby? What's up, baby? Let's go. Let's go.
Hells yeah. Blue Note Roofing. Oh, he's busy right now.
Yeah, he
How
is.
busy is
Oh,
David
my God,
right now?
Yeah, he's real busy. I'm gonna have to call him for the roof too. We fixed the first part of our
Leave him
house.
alone right now.
No, we fixed the
he's
first
a
part.
little busy.
I already had somebody do it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So now
Make sure he
we
knows
wanna,
that.
We want to get a new roof, and we know we have hail damage.
Call
So
Dave
I'm gonna call
today.
him.
314.
Dave, you hear me? Love you, buddy.
314-920-5713.
Needs to happen.
Blue Note Roofing. Look for that big yellow truck with the blue note on the side of it. Again, if you suffered tornado damage, no matter where you're listening, he will come in and give you that free estimate, take care of you. Gutters, siding, soffit, fascia,
Yep. All
roofing. The roofing obviously is the bread and butter, man. But make sure you get somebody who knows what he's doing, who's got the relationships with all the insurance companies. David Novak, baby. 314-920-5713. 314-920-5713. I'll put it back up on my Instagram just so you have it. And give him a call today.
Hell yeah.
David Novak. You should do the same thing on your Instagram.
I will.
Okay. Cam Jersey Generator.
Right here, baby.
Makes
Go on.
these beautiful jerseys.
Check on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see these bad boys. We got the best logo in the league right here. Me with my Adam's apple and Andy without his. And Andy, his ears are kind of big and it's hilarious looking. We got the best logo going, and they did it.
Why do you have to turn it into mean?
I didn't mean to be like that.
No, but that's how
No,
you,
but I didn't mean to.
That's how you turn.
I'm
it
sorry.
Into like.
No,
that.
I didn't mean to. I just showing off. Look at the gap in between.
I know.
I look like an idiot.
I know. Jersey Generator. They make the best hockey jerseys.
So
So if you
funny.
have a youth hockey team or a men's league team and you need jerseys, or you just want your own individual jersey to wear to a hockey game, and you want to put your own logo on there, you want to get one of these jerseys, get a Cam and Strick jersey, man. Wear
They're
it to
awesome.
a Blues game, dude.
He did such a good job with this, dude. He just
Get
did.
one and get one today
I
from
love
Mark over at Jersey Generator. You can check out their Instagram. You can check out their website, jerseygenerator.com.
Love you guys. Boom.
Yeah, so Jersey Generator. Check that out today. Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging dicks. None of that bow shit. Right
But
there in
you
Troy,
do,
Missouri.
you do get flavored water and sushi.
Type B personality. Love you guys up there in Troy, Missouri. You got all kinds
So
of different
good.
vehicles. I would love to get a new
Buick
one. I need a new
GMC on
one.
one side of the street,
Love you
Chrysler
guys.
Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side. A
Real deal.
stone's throw,
Real deal.
just right across the street. Cam's looking at that pink Jeep, 2-door,
Type
small
B
wheels,
personality. That's what that is.
soft top with flames on the side. Nothing wrong with it. But that's what Cam's looking at, and you can get anything you want. Get a custom Jeep. Sometimes I see these Jeeps, Cam, and I'm like, damn, I could use one of those in a nice weather.
You're always just in a mix with stuff. You don't even think that way.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I would love to have a Jeep. Ty wants one so bad.
That's a different story. He's going to want one.
He does.
Chloe's going to want one.
They do. Like, Dad, get a Jeep.
He wants like a Jeep
I
Wrangler.
go, you know how many days a year?
I don't know if you need a Jeep Wrangler. I'd like to have one as a side piece,
Sure.
but you got an Audi. Like, that's, you're not going to get rid of that. Like, let's just be honest with the
Okay.
people. Like, I like how Andy always just, I want, crave one. No, Ty, though, would love one.
Yeah.
Chloe would love one for high school. Be fucking badass.
Yeah, okay.
And there's relatively safe.
So go get a Jeep
Yeah.
or a Buick or a GMC or a Chrysler Dodge Ram.
Yeah.
You can get anything you want.
I need a.
They
I
have
need a
everything. Say hi to Danny, boy.
Danny, what up?
Dale.
Kenny, Dale, what's up, baby? Love all you guys. Hope
Kenny.
you guys didn't get fucked over with the storm and all that stuff.
All right, listen. Derek Lalonde. Lalonde. He
Lalonde.
kept saying his name. It's Lalonde.
Yeah. Well, that's probably Lalonde then.
Lalonde.
Yeah.
I hear Blashill, his old buddy, he used to be in Detroit. He's like in the running right now for Seattle and Chicago. He
Really?
used to be the head coach of the Maple Leafs. Or excuse me, of
Let's
the
go here.
Red Wings.
We've been on for two
All right,
hours.
Derek
Let's fucking go.
Lalonde
Good God.
on this edition of the Cam and Strick Podcast. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link And do it today. www.firstform.com/CamandStrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/CamandStrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview. Who's behind you? Who do you have hanging up in your wall there?
What do you got
I
there?
got my Red Wing jersey. I got my Iowa Wild. You know, when you do the presser, I rotate. I kept, hey, I'm going to put them up, but I don't have the skill set to put them up. So I got my, basically where he's been a head coach, Green Bay Gamblers, Toledo Walleye. So I just rotate what I'm feeling, because now I've been doing some of these TV hits for Sportsnet.
Yeah.
So I got to have some kind of background, and it's like, it's a real thing, man. It's so amateur. So those are just hanging there.
They judge you. If you they do. I don't want to get chirped any more than they already get chirped. You know what I mean?
These guys have professional shells behind that or everything, but the hardware is always a good one.
I know.
That keeps me alive. It keeps me alive.
I did an interview with Doug Armstrong the other day for something locally, and his background is like 3 Stanley Cups.
Oh, yeah. I saw that, Andy.
He's got like the GM of the Year awards. He's got like...
Hell yeah. I would too.
It's just like...
racked right up. Yeah.
It's like Bill Belichick or something, like, just sitting there with 6 Super Bowl trophies. I like that Bills helmet, though, Newsy. I will say that.
Very cool. So I'm upstate New York guy.
Yeah.
And whenever we'd go play Buffalo, the media knew it, and they'd always grill me on the latest Bills Mafia. And lo and behold, about 2 weeks later, the GM sent me a helmet. It was the coolest thing ever.
I love it. I love it.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
All my family's from out there, too, man. So I grew up a diehard Bills fan. Hey, you said your son plays for Caesars, U16.
Yep.
He wasn't on one of those teams that are beating teams 43 to nothing.
I was going to ask that question, you son of a bitch.
I'm part of the Mafia. My older boy played too. That's the 2010s with Kessler. But the U16s had a good run. They lost to Shattuck St. Mary's in the national championship game. Then my kid, he's a Sioux City draft pick.
Okay.
So part of the St. Louis Mafia there.
Yeah.
And he played his first USHL game right after. So we got a little taste of it in Waterloo as a 16-year-old, which is pretty cool. So, St. Louis tie there with Sioux City.
How do you look at now with the USHL and the OHL having options and
It's
having a kid go through it?
Yeah.
Like, how do you view it?
A great question. And people ask me all the time, like I have the answer. And I don't think anyone really does. I think it's going to be very reactive. I'm talking, I've talked with John Van Viesbroek, people in the USHL, the USA Hockey end, the OHL. Like, man, even my son being a 2008, he got invited to a bunch of camps. He's going to go to Sarnia in a couple of weeks. It's just a whole different landscape. Even this little Caesars team was a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
And, a year ago, the USHL draft comes around and they're like, you either want to go to college or you don't. A couple of kids went the OHL route. But most kids, want to keep their college eligibility, but the Detroit kids. And then that year changes. Now there's a bunch of kids in flux because there's some high-end kids. And now, it's just a geographic thing too. So it's going to be an interesting, I don't know how it's going to play out, but teams that I'm familiar with, Sioux City a little bit, just talking to those guys because my son's on their protected list, but they're like, hey, we're going to be who we are. And we're just going to continue to be who we are and what we are, and we're going to be good with it. So it's just going to be really interesting how it's going to play out for sure.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, back to the AAA thing though, because I played AAA in the Michigan National Hockey League and stuff, and we weren't that good in St. Louis in the 90s. We go up there, we get our asses kicked by Bell Tire and CompuWare and whatnot, but to see a score 46 to nothing. I mean, have you ever seen that before? And like as a coach, when you heard him talk about, were you rolling your eyes like shut it down?
So I'm connected to it in some ways because Kessler, he runs the 2010s. I had a U18 play last year. I have a son that plays 08, so we're always crossing paths. My assistant Alex Tanguay in Detroit also has a kid in that team and helps coach that team, and they're deeply into it. And I don't know if you caught Kess on Spit and Chicklets.
Oh, yeah, I did.
but he's like, they missed one. It was actually 44.
I know. And he
But-
said he wasn't there
He's
either,
out.
you know? He said he wasn't there. But
Oh, he was watching on Live Barn.
Oh my God! And Tangs was telling me, Tangs said it could have been 80, and he goes, "It's just as unfortunate." So there's two sides of it. But yeah, it's unbelievable. When I go places now, just like you guys,
yeah.
it's the first thing I get asked. It's about that game, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Once you say, and we've had Kessler on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I get it. It is. I've got a young kid, who's playing now too. So.
Yeah.
I kind of like see it, and Nathan Gerby, he runs the team that's my son's age,
Awesome.
so so we've gone toe to toe with those guys a couple of times, so I know how they do it. And listen, it's funny because Kyle Connor I was talking to him recently because he played for Bell Tire, and it's like how everything just changes. And Little Caesars kind of like running the show in Detroit right now. Not long ago, Honeybake was good and Bell Tire was good and CompuWare, they all had their runs, so. Now it's Little Caesars, man. They kind of control it. How competitive is it in Michigan? Are kids bouncing around?
No, it's a great question. It's funny. You talk about how things can kind of run different cycles in it, and recruiting, being in the coaching scene forever, I've seen it. But even on my Red Wing team that I just most recently coached, obviously Patty Kane comes here to Honeybaked. You've got Alex DeBrinket that played for Victory Honda. Lark's played on that team with Kyle Connor Beltire. And my boy would be practicing. Those guys would be kicking the ball, getting ready for the game. And I'm like, Canner, you couldn't even make this team. You couldn't even make Caesars now. Like, this is where it's at. So it goes in cycles, but I laugh. And my kid is what he is. An unbelievable experience. He got better being around great players. His center from last year ended up playing in the National Development Program. Another one of the centers was a high pick, the leading scorer in Sarnia this past year. And this year, the two leading scorers are Russian. So here's the cream of the crop Little Caesars team. And they have 8, 10, 12 really good Michigan players, but their two leading scorers last year, one was a Western Ontario kid, one was a California kid, and then the two Russians this year. So it's interesting. I think people roll their eyes sometimes. I went to Nationals this year, the Jersey Rockets, everyone they went through, Mid-Fairfield, Carolina Canes, great team. Every team you had 4 or 5 Russians, and then the rest of the talent. It's a crazy landscape. It's
a lot
competitive.
of Russians here in the States.
There's a
right?
lot of good players, man. You just got to have the money.
I know. Exactly. Yeah, there's a commitment for sure.
For sure.
I was at the rink this morning, like at 7:00. It's amazing how before school, like it's amazing how many kids are up and committed to training. So it has changed. I love how you tell Patty Kane that he couldn't have made the team.
And DeBrinket was Bell Tire. I mean, Victory Honda, they've never been good.
No.
I'm like, Cat, you can never make this team. And he rolls his eyes. Yeah. So crazy. AAA hockey, man, right? And I'm just on the tail end of it.
Don't you miss it when you're coaching, like during the season and you can't be there all the time?
I tell you guys, honestly, I got let go at the end of December. First time getting let go, and my peers or like just laughed at me, and that Pete DeBoer's been fired 6 times. He's like, Newsy, Lou Lamoriello fired me on Christmas Eve. Best thing that ever happened to me. He goes, you're going to be just fine. He goes, but what you're going to get, the reward of the next few months is your family. And it was beyond my expectations. I have a senior that was playing at Taft Prep School. I literally watched 10 games in a row. I was literally living out in Watertown, Connecticut, and always amazed how they could find competent refs on a Wednesday at 2:00 for 15 prep school games, all within an hour of each other. Unbelievable experience, the highs and lows. And just even what I talked to you about, I was going to the Nationals, missed it last year with my son. They get a national championship game against Shattuck, and then he gets called right up to Sioux City. We drive to Sioux City. I'm there in Waterloo. Obviously, I coached in that league back in the day to see his first game. Just those type of experiences. The minor hockey RV dad. I was one of those guys. Got kicked out. My wife's like, "Why are you still in the RV? It's 18 feet away. I can look at it from the hotel window. Like, what are you doing?"
Oh, you really have one? You have an RV?
No. Lauren Knopf, one of the other kids in their team, he brought the RV, and obviously, we were no different than any other crazy AAA hockey parents. We put a beating on that thing. and
Hey,
we had a great time. But it was, but
big
those
Walt.
experiences, I ecstatic, and I'm thankful that I got to see.
Big Walt used to have the big
What do you
conversion van
Yeah.
with like TVs and stuff like that.
Yep.
And like that
Absolutely.
was his
You're
his
committed, man.
hockey band.
It's all
you
you're
know?
doing.
Yeah, well, and that team's legendary. I had Luke
Oh, yeah.
Cunnin. I coached so many. Coming on you guys, I coached so many St. Louis guys. But that team,
Yeah.
it's legendary.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just to come from there and all those draft picks, it was just amazing. I guarantee you talk to Walt now, best time of his life,
Oh,
just
yeah.
rifling around to those games. But coaching those kids, being invested in them, it was amazing.
You know, I'll say it now because I was helping coach with our U18s at the time, and Matthew was a U16, maybe first year U16. So we would travel at the same time. Walt just got his front teeth knocked out by a shot from TJ Oshie.
Yeah,
You may have been on the team at the time.
Yeah, I was on our team.
And so, Oshie takes a shot, hits Walt
Oh, God.
in the mouth, knocks out all his teeth, and the puck goes in. Like he
Yeah.
scored the goal on
Yeah,
it.
it counts. Yeah.
So much pain, but he was out for a long time. But he would start coming to every trip on the road. You know what I mean? It was so much fun having him there. And he'd always be like, "Don't tell anybody that I'm on the road."
He went through that phase with no
He
teeth. He looked like
loved it.
he looked like he was 90 years old for a while there.
I'm convinced some of these guys would maybe come back and play another year in the NHL if they didn't have kids who are playing, because they just want to go start watching their kids play all the time.
I'm telling you,
and
and
coaching.
it's not completely true, but Steve called me in, and obviously we were in a tough spot. And basically, he's like, "Hey, we're gonna make a change," and the rest of it was like blah 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 blah. I'm like, "I'm going to go to nationals. I'm going to run every Little Caesars practice. We're going to be better. We're going to be faster out of the zone. Our regroups are going to improve. I'm going to go catch I loved whenever my Taft kid, because I would purposely let Bob Bugner know who they're playing, and like Taft versus Avon or Millbrook. He never heard of these schools at all, and it would drive him nuts. Here's an OHL, longtime NHLer. So yeah, those are phenomenal. Those experiences.
What, do you coach your kids the same kind of way? Like if you're coaching the Red Wings, I mean, is there?
Yeah, not
do you tone
really.
it down a little?
Tone it down completely.
Yeah,
Obviously it was no different. I know it sounds crazy, but when you see Walt and you see Brownie, what they did with those teams, they were invested in. I don't know. I used to go to those 15 festivals forever, part of my recruiting. And those USA guys, like, it's your responsibility you're going to help out. And I took it to heart. And, my coaching background, I'm in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm in everywhere. I'm in Florida, Tampa. And I took it upon to get on the ice, to run as many practices, not to get in the coach's way. Twice I've been dubbed the greatest hockey dad in history, and that's the greatest compliment, because we're all crazy. It's just the reality of it. It's your family, it's your son. But I took it personal, so I would run a ton of skates, and I'd want to run skates, but I wouldn't know. It was just, for me, it was what we'd run for the Red Wings. Would be pace, would be tempo. I want to give these guys that type of experience. And it was literally, and the guys, we literally ran this 3 hours ago, the Detroit Red Wings or the Tampa Bay Lightning. I just wanted to give them an experience, but I always kind of stayed away from it, and it's worked out well.
Yeah, no, I love it. Listen, Jim
him.
Montgomery was doing it a few years back, and when he got fired by
sure.
Dallas, he came back to St. Louis, and he started running practices for that 09 group for a long time. We have a 2009 that went to Little Caesars this year too. Actually, St. Louis kid, Landon Jackman, if you know that kid. So,
I know one of the older guys, Jay Verdi, his nephew, is on that team.
Yeah, his nephew's on that team too. Yeah.
The whole crew, absolutely. Yeah.
So, and Barrett Jackman's son's on it. There's two Jackmans.
Yep.
And they sound Caden and
I know exactly. So, hey, listen, but when you got fired by Steve Yzerman, I mean, it was right around Christmas time, right? So I think it was the 26th or 27th. When did you find out? And how did that impact your whole holiday that year? Because everyone around hockey is thinking about that, right?
Great question. First and foremost, it was unfortunate. You could feel it was uncomfortable. My first time going through this, and it's pro hockey, man. We had 91 points the year before. We improved 17 points over 2 years. We were projected to be in the low 80s, and we furnished in a virtual tie with Washington. And the old tiebreaker, the ROW 3 years earlier, we would have been in the playoffs. And it's just amazing how it just transforms. And to no one's fault, our summer was what it was, but We lose Shane Gostisbehere. We lose Jake Walman. We lose David Perron. Just things didn't go our way around July 1. And even Steve was being cautious. Hey, we're going to take a assess. Coach, you don't want to hear that. Like, all I've known since I was here was this and the program. And then, of course, it hit some snags and we weren't playing well. And I give the guys credit. We never had, like, until we were in Philly, we never had that wow moment. And I kind of like, and Monty's a good buddy of mine, and I'm rooting for Monty, and I hate Boston for fighting. Like, you get your buddies, you take this personal. They had a couple of those wow moments with the 6-1 loss to, you could just feel it. They were lifeless, and you probably felt Monty was going to get let go. We didn't have that yet. We had one in Philly. So I left Philly. I'm like, man, this does not feel comfortable. And then what does the team do? We beat Toronto at home, our best game of the year, and they were in like a 7-game heater. And then we beat Philly, the same team. We put up 6 on them. Feels good. And then we lose 3 in a row. We just couldn't get traction. It was just one of those things. Steve called. He's like, hey, I want to see you. And it stings a little bit because it's your first time. But the reality is, it almost, because of the landscape, the fact that I was the 27th coach fired under 3 years, and we're into the low 30s now before the 3-year cycle, it's almost the reality of it. And then the unique thing is, of never being fired, is the guys. They were phenomenal. And then they go on a heater. They go on a 7-game win streak. They had 2 7-game win streaks. And I get the question all the time, did that hurt you? I'm like, absolutely not, because you root for Larkin, you root for Mo Sider, you root for Lucas Raymond. I just told you how first time I thought I was going to get fired, the 2 hardest games we played was right. Those guys played hard for me. So it's more about the relationships. It's a weird feeling. Then they fell apart completely. The wheels completely fell off. And my buddies were sending me like Dr. Evil smiling emojis. I'm like, no, like I feel even worse for Larkin because I've been there with him. And here they go again. They fell apart. It's a weird feeling because you still root for players. You root for relationships. Cam, you know what I'm talking about. You were in the room with these guys, with coaches. So it was all a weird feeling, but it was an unbelievable experience. And the people that were like, the next few months were going to be unbelievably rewarding with your family, were right and bang on. And it was the people that I had, my peers I had relationships with, that, but you kind of know we're the best. Butch Cassidy was like, Newsy, I know it sounds crazy. You feel like you failed, but soon, and I don't know when it's going to be, but in 4, 5, 6 months, it's a crazy cycle. You become the coach that's won Stanley Cups and now has experience as a head. Now you're an experienced coach. He goes, it's as unfair as it is on this end. It's you soon can run the cycle. Now you're an experienced coach. So it's a unique experience. I did spend a ton of time with my family. But it wasn't, don't sound crazy. It wasn't that awful. Maybe it's the crazy landscape. If there was only 2 of us fired in 5 years, I'd probably sting more. But it's an unfortunate reality of our profession right now, and you got to have some tough skin on it.
That's why you better get that 5-year deal next time you take a job.
Yeah,
You better give me 5 years.
It does help coming on this podcast. I'll tell you that right now.
You're going to fire me 2 or 3 years into my deal. You better give me a 5-year deal. All these guys are getting fired, man. It's crazy.
Do you look back on it like, okay, I need to change a couple things. Like maybe I could have switched a couple things up. Like what is there?
Career coach from the day I finished playing college hockey. I coached for the next 28 years. So you're always self-evaluating. Obviously, our penalty kill was 29th in the league at the time. If we could have turned that thing around alone, just that alone, we would have been fine. And, unfortunately, they found a way to make it worse. They actually finished last. So it was something I wish we could have turned around. Some player deployment, 100%. I'm a relationship type guy. Holding guys accountable is hard in this league because they want to be held accountable, but it's always on their own terms. And, there were some times I'm holding guys accountable and they're getting 11 minutes because I'm trying to win a hockey game and they need feedback the next day. So some deployment issues for sure. 100%. There's a ton of things I would have done differently. Just even the experiences. The one experience is the noise. It's the first time being in a real market, and again, we went. We overachieved in my second year. We were where no one expected us to be, and I thought maybe I was gonna be getting the pat on the back summer, like the momentum. And now you start the Lalonde screwed up articles. Our coach isn't the right coach. We How do we miss the playoffs? You get that. It's so negative, today's social media, and it's just the reality of it. That's an experience in itself,
Yeah.
where you have to learn to just kind of not listen to it. That's real. So there's a ton of you learn from and grow, and why people always get better from these experiences, and I certainly lived it.
I was talking to another coach a few years back. He was taking a lot of heat. And I said, you got to understand, nobody goes on social media really to say anything positive.
I know.
You know what I mean? So it's not a fair
Yes.
assessment
Yeah.
of society or the fan
100%.
base or whatever, because nobody's going to go on there to say anything like, oh, he's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't get clicks. It doesn't get any attention. Hey, I'm curious because we talked about it, Cam and I. Like, Yzerman's press conference was very interesting. You don't hear him talk too often. Is your contract up, by the way, or are you still under
Yeah,
contract?
no, July 1.
Okay.
Yeah, July
Okay.
1 cycle.
So the way he handled it was different than how you see most general managers handled it. I didn't love the press conference. I thought it was like, it was interesting to watch, but working with him on a daily basis, is that a reflection of how he is? Is that how he treats the coaches and handles the coaches? Or is there another side of this guy who obviously is a great player and so respected as a player that we just don't see?
Yeah, good question. Good person, very appreciative. He gave me my first opportunity as a head coach. You dream about being a head coach in the league, let alone an original six team with that type of history. And we knew we were in. Even in the process, he must have told me 5 different times, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Because he was pretty realistic on where we were out. So no, that was pretty much him, not in a bad way. I think that's part of the reality. He's an introverted person by nature, but a real unbelievable family man, good person. What I appreciate is whenever my family around, he treated them well and respect, but he's just extremely competitive. He made me a ton better because he's so hard. I remember one game in year one, and we weren't very good, but we beat the New York Islanders. We shut them out 3-0. And we literally, one of those analytic dreams where we gave up like 6 chances and we couldn't have played better. And he comes in and he's mad at a couple individuals, and rightfully so. And he sits there, he goes, "Newsy," he goes, "I tend to be a little negative in some of these situations. I'm not happy with a couple players. Good win, and I'm going to leave." And he just walked out the door. And I appreciated it because that's just how he is. He's competitive. He's probably a perfectionist when he played, and that's why he finally got to the top. And he treats it the same way here. So I don't know if that's a complete reflection. I didn't really watch that presser. Obviously, you talk about the 1% of 1% negative media got a lot of attention, which it's not always the real thing. So I don't even bother. I got let go from the Redwings. I appreciated my time there. I grew immensely. My relationships with those guys never changed. I've always been a relationship guy, but I moved on. This is reality. That's some of the advice I got on from the get-go. So I didn't even watch it, but so I don't know if that's technically him, but he's an intense, hard-nosed person, and I am grateful. I got 3 years with him because he made me a ton better. Not the most pleasant and comfortable in that time. But he made me better, and that's all you can ask, I guess, really.
No, that's a good answer. You always wonder if like guys like that, if they make others around them uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like
Some
when
GMs do.
I think maybe that's the intention for some general managers. They don't want you to be comfortable.
Yeah, I'm the boss.
Yeah, he's got a presence, and it's I don't think he means it, but he's obviously he's an icon, especially in that city. And you know what? He feels pressure and wants to win too. This is not. He knew he was taking a really tough rebuild, and it's had its bumps. So I think he's feeling a little bit too, and he's just competitive. You don't become who he is if you're not that competitive. So he wears it too. He's human like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a. Did you have?
Well, I was going to ask about Walman.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Jake Walman situation. I mean, he goes to Detroit and he seems like he's scoring big time goals. He's playing good hockey. He's doing the gritty, and then all of a sudden you trade him and give away a pick to trade him, and then somebody else gives a first round pick to get him back. So, what can you tell us about that whole situation?
No, nothing. I really liked coaching the kid. I liked the individual. I felt really fortunate in that he played at Providence College, and one of my best friends, one of my college teammates, one of my roommates, Nate Lehman, was his coach. And Nate was unbelievable. He basically just said, just dig in the relationships. You let him know you have his back and you care for him. He'll do well. And that's exactly what he did. He blew up. He had an unbelievable first year. He earned his 3-year deal. The kid was worried he might not be able to play in the league, and then he signs a $10 million contract. So I like the kid. I like the relationship. I just think it was maybe a bigger plan on what they were trying to do, maybe trying to build within. But I'm not surprised he did well. I had a lot of time for him. I certainly would even enjoy coaching him again someday. So, it's just sometimes I guess you're trying to do something and you got visions of building, and maybe it was a step back for a step forward. Steve's a very patient manager, and he's got a plan. He's going to stick to it. And just in that circumstance is kind of what played out there. But I really like the kid and the individual. And I appreciate how well he played for me.
Yeah. I got to know him really well here in St. Louis, man.
Yeah, great kid.
And again, he never really got that chance. He came in at a time they had a bunch of veteran guys that, won the Stanley Cup in 2019 and whatnot. So, but I remember watching him shut down Jack Eichel in the national championship game. You know what I mean? Against BU. Eichel was a freshman. So there was a lot of attention on him coming in, and you saw the skating ability and whatnot. But I'm glad to see him get an opportunity. Reminded me of guys like Vince Dunn. Sometimes you just don't really, you don't get that chance. You're in the lineup. Dunn got a better chance than Walman did, but he never really got to flex and be a power play guy and be a top 4 guy until you go to a different organization. Sometimes you get that chance and you run with it, which is what he's done in Seattle. Hey, I got to ask you though, because one of the more interesting things, man, was it the last game of the season when you guys were playing and Philly and Washington were playing at the same time? Okay.
Talk about nightmares and like how we literally make the playoffs.
Yeah. So Cam, remember? I gotta remind Cam what happened. So Philly's playing Washington. Detroit, they tie it up late in the game. Then
3 seconds left. We tie with 3 seconds left.
It may have been DeBrincat, maybe, or somebody. It was somebody.
It was
Cop.
Perron.
It was David. Jesus.
Yeah, David.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I remember watching it, and then you guys ended up winning the game. But Philly didn't know that Detroit had just basically eliminated the Flyers. So they pulled the goalie because they had to win the game against Washington.
I remember this.
Oshie scores the empty netter and that knocked Detroit out of the playoffs, when in reality, Philadelphia didn't know. They didn't need to pull the goalie because they were already eliminated. So if they don't pull the goalie and there's a different outcome, then you guys make the playoffs, right?
100%. It was the perfect storm of circumstances. You talk about things
they
you
were
can't
winning
control.
when they pulled the goalie.
Yes.
God.
And so a couple of
Or
things.
maybe they were
One,
losing. I don't know.
you learn in your coaching career, like you control things you can control. I couldn't control that. In reality, I'm in year 2. We make the playoffs. We just talked about overachieving, but even being there, the whole trajectory of my experience there probably changes. It's just the reality of it. And now I'm sitting here unemployed, but that's all. You can control things you control. But yeah, we tied the game with 3 seconds left. We eliminated them. They're about 4 minutes behind us. And if they would have won in any fashion, we would have made the playoffs. And unfortunately, they pulled the goalie with 3 minutes left. They scored the open netter. We got eliminated. But to John Tortorella's credit, and why people that know him really appreciate who he is, and I really did. I rarely knew him. Just a hello, competing against him. He texted me 7:45 a.m. the next morning, and he's like, "Newsy, we had a plan. We were not going to scoreboard watch at all. I feel awful. There was no ill feelings by it. Please understand what we're trying to do. And to his credit, if we were up 4-0 early in the first period, they would have been eliminated. We get two points in any fashion, they're eliminated. And that's the last thing he wants in the middle of the game is someone to look at a scoreboard and see Detroit's up 3-1 and their season's over. You know what that is. So I appreciate what it did. And I appreciate the fact he did that. And to this day, I'll always appreciate, because when people aren't watching, right, when doors are closed, who are you really? And he got eliminated himself. And for him to text me at 7 a.m. the next morning, I think says a lot about him. But yeah, the perfect storm of circumstances. But that's those, you can't control those things. That's just the reality of it. And unfortunately, that was one break that went against us that day.
All right, so now tell us what you texted him that night. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You fucked us over.
Trust me, I wanted to, but I know he would. Next time he saw me, take a swing at me. He keeps score for sure. No, I literally texted him back, and he didn't have to. Really, basically, you didn't have, because I might have done the same thing. Especially if we win, they're eliminated, no scoreboard watch. And that was his policy going in.
Wouldn't you tell your guys, your video guys, to let you know?
You would certainly, that's, again, you sound like everyone on my staff and everything like that. Like, just let the video guy call down and like, hey, Detroit won, because there's probably 5-6 minutes left. There's plenty of time for them to play that out.
Don't pull the goalie. You're not making the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
Respect the game. Don't pull the goalies. But I get it. That's are you going to be that video guy to be like, hey, John, this is Joe?
Well, I would say it to Brad Shaw or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell Brad Shaw or somebody else on the staff.
And then,
let them tell him.
And then, in Shaw's or because they have the policy, no score watching, and then you can go down. Hey, John, so and so just called in. Detroit eliminated us. So it just keep playing.
Washington was like, what's going on? They pulled the goal.
Ovi's like,
Ovi's like, I'm gonna get another one.
Get me out there, baby.
But Oshie got it.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you watching all these games? I'm sure you are. I mean, you're still watching every second.
He's a TV star.
I mean,
yeah. So I did the first round, which I loved. Unbelievable experience. Honored. Talk about ever coaching the National Hockey League. To think I'd be with Ron McLean at Hockey Night in Canada, that was more an unbelievable experience. And those guys are unbelievable. They're really talented. Like, you guys have done well with this. So you appreciate work that goes into the media, but they're unbelievably talented, but they're really good teammates. BX, Kelly Rudy, Elliot Friedman, Ron McLean. So it was an unbelievable experience. But I was there 17 days. I felt like I was back in the bubble. Like, I agreed to do the first round, and I'm like, guys, I am out of here. I'll fill in maybe later, but it's a lot. So I do, because Sportsnet's been so good to me, I do a lot of their radio, their podcast. So I watch intently, which I would, but I watch it a little more keenly now because I've been helping them out.
So I talked to some of your players, man, and they rave about you in your video sessions, like your ability to teach from a video standpoint. Like, is that always been a strength of yours? Like, are you aware that's a strength of yours, and so you really go to a lot of video? And how do you approach your video? Is it all positive? You show negative clips,
funny stuff sometimes.
You do it in front of the whole team,
the whole thing. Good question, Strick. And so, first and foremost, I really think I got to the top of this profession because I started in teaching. Mm-hmm. When I played college hockey, I knew I was a 5'7" goalie. We started winning Stanley Cups. All my college pitchers started to show. I covered no net. It was embarrassing. I'm shocked anyone ever got a puck by me. So I was all about my education. I got an undergrad in phys ed. I got a minor in biology. I got a master's in education administration.
I think Cam has a PhD in biology.
I do. And world affairs.
So I was a teacher, so it was easy for me. And it was just comfortable being in front of the room. And then you start to grow. And I give a lot of people, even a lot of my early experiences, George Gwozdecki, God, in Tampa, I must have ran 70% of the meetings. And it was just how we vibe. It was my strength. I'd run a lot of the meetings. And then when Coop had to get in front of him because he laid the hammer. And we just had this good cop, bad cop, a lot of yin and yang. So it's part of it. I think it's how you teach, how you grow. You get these guys. My meetings are never over 5 minutes. I was told on a psychology aspect to keep their attention, but it's all part of it. It's negative, it's positive. There's some humor in it, but you're teaching, and you want to get a visualization and how guys grow. Because Julian Brisebois, I give him a lot of credit, and we were in Tampa. If they see it, they believe it. And so we use that a lot, but it was incorporating a lot of the video with teaching, but also some of the numbers behind it, the analytics. And so what you see on Sportsnet, it's kind of why it's so comfortable for me. And they've been great. They want X's and O's from me. They want a little personality. But the boys Bieksa and Friedman got that covered in spades. They just start arguing with each other, and I just sit there and laugh, and that's entertainment. And it just worked out. It's the coach's perspective, X's and O's, and that's where it's at. So, our boy Patty Maroon the other day, I was so honestly. Yeah. Patty's one of my guys. I love Patty to death. You win with him, but a long time story ago, I recruited Pat Maroon to Fair State. He committed to me.
He wasn't going to college.
He wasn't going to college. I could have told you that a long time ago, brother.
Everyone. But he hung in there. I had American University online classes going, and then I went to Denver, and he's like, screw this, like whatever. But anyhow, he went the other day, and I was literally, because you're invested in someone. I see Pat Maroon, we tell each other we love each other. It's just one of those relationships. I care about him. Yeah. I was so nervous for him because you guys know the rig.
Oh, yeah. We were talking like, is he going to have the energy and like
speak up?
This is going to go sideways. I was nervous, the sweating. I've been in there. He had one time, and we're getting to the point because he did phenomenal.
We love Patty, man.
He had to address the team one time. And he barely could sweating. This is his peers. And this is the same guy. He beats people up to stick up for him. Like he's the most loved guy in our room. And I was so nervous for him, and he absolutely crushed it. He was so darn good on it to the point where he had like the corner and he had like the pen going and the flare going. It's like the swagger. But it doesn't surprise me. That's why he's won so much. He just has this swagger. And he kind of just dials in, and he obviously dialed in then because I'm nervous for him. Like, man, he crushed this thing. It was pretty cool. So
he's a smart player. Like he had to be.
Yeah.
You have to be smart to be that successful. He's not that fast, but he's got great hands. But he knows where to put the puck. He knows where to go. Mm-hmm. He knows where the puck's going to be in front of the net. He's a smart hockey player.
He's always been a guy that plays on every team, too. It's not like he's ever been a guy that's in and out. No. I mean, he was for a minute here in St. Louis until they got it together, and then he became an impact player right away.
But gamesmanship, mentality, like he just has a feeling. And we'll talk about him for years, and it's not an accident, and it's real and unbelievable, the ultimate winner. And I mean it, whatever it took. If he needs some help, obviously sticking up for teammates, but just the momentum of a game, little things, but just hanging out. Cam, you know this, you did this in the league, but just hanging out the red line on the TV timeout. Mm-hmm. But it's real. That stuff is real. And then he loves his teammates, and you talk about some of those meetings. All I had to do was throw a meeting in and just ask the boys, like, who are they? They're going to push us around. They're going to push him around, and you can see Patty, just the smoke coming out of his ears. Yeah. Like you talked about getting to him, and he would go out, but then he'd go out and make plays. You could put him up in the lineup. Just an ultimate, just a feel of the mental strength and toughness. So he'll never be seen again because you see him sometimes. He's the visual of, and he's not the prettiest skater. There's times, but he just found a way. And Coop and I knew we were trying to get him that whole first year. We got swept. And that whole second year, that whole summer, we were trying so hard to get him. And Julian's the boss. It's managers, coaches, coach. But we were actually maybe telling too much, but we were in Coeur d'Alene at Coop's golf course. And Julian calls, and we're like, hey, we got room for one more. And this is like August.
Yeah, I remember when he signed,
And Julian's like, we got room for one more forward. And he rang off like Pat Maroon and then three other guys. And then Coop and I just, like, between putts, we knuckled. And of course, Coop being the professional, he's like, I understand. I like this player. Let's talk about it. Maybe we'll call you back in the morning. And he's like, well, when I'm thinking about it, I think Pat Maroon might fit what we're looking for. And we literally went back-to-back Stanley Cups because of him. He just helped solidify our room. We went from being a little shy in some areas to we picked up him and Luke Shen. And they both had an unbelievable gamesmanship feel. We started pushing people around, and it's real. And it's when it's not real, Cam, and it's when you don't have it.
Yep.
And then we went from not having it all to on the other end of it. And
we need to calm down a little bit, Like,
it was unbelievable. And Pat Maroon there was a lot of guys, but Pat Maroon was a huge part of why we won those back-to-back Stanley Cups.
But when you did get swept, though, like Columbus, like what was going through your head? What were the meetings like with Cooper? You just like,
great question.
We can't get anything going.
No, well, we tried everything that thing. We even called I won't say his name because of privacy, but we called an experienced coach. I think we're down 2-0, maybe now 3-0. And we called this experienced coach who had been in the middle of a couple comebacks or extended comeback from 3-0. And, we call him, we get him on speakerphone, and we're all like, Jeff Halper and I, like, we got the pens ready. Like, we're in, and then we're like, hey, so, what do you think? He goes, yeah, no, I've been watching. You guys are screwed. And we're like, there goes the pens.
Is this John Gruden from Tampa?
He's like, yeah, you guys have no chance. I've been watching. We thought it was going to be the secret formula, do this, do that, some meeting. We tried everything. We couldn't get out of it. I think momentum is real in our sport. You see some of these teams. I mean, Toronto was on the verge of one shot away being up 3-0. And then the momentum of it, we couldn't. And to their credit, if you recall that team, it's a 1-8 loss. It's on us. It was a horrible, no excuse, a horrible look for us. But that was a really good. Think about that team. You had Werenski and Jones playing 29 minutes.
Panarin, right?
Panarin, but their depth was ridiculous up the middle. I think they picked Duchesne then too.
Wasn't Bobrovsky the goalie?
Yeah.
Oh, Bobrovsky. Like, you put that honestly. And then we had Hedman was out with injury.
Okay.
And Kucherov got suspended. We literally got to game 3 and we put their lineup against our lineup. Like, they were literally a better team. So it was an awful loss, no excuses, but they loaded up. They did an unbelievable job at the deadline. And they actually, you talk about, that's probably on the front end of the analytics age. So they probably should beat Boston that next round. They beat them in every stat, every category, just to go their way. But so during it, we tried everything. We did try, but where I give John Cooper and our group a ton of credit, and probably the credit to the management group and Julian Bourgeois is, we could have been all fired. That's as bad as a loss, historic loss as it is. At the time, I think we were the first or second. We're the second team to win 62 games in history, and to get swept in the first round. And there was a core there that they couldn't get over the hump. It would have been very easy. And I laugh sometimes. If we were in a different market, we might have either got fired or broke the whole thing up. But it's Tampa, man. It was 2 articles, and then we're right back to Tom Brady. It was almost healthy in some ways. And to Julian's credit, he calls us in, and we're like, we don't know what this is going to be. And he's like, he doubled down. What do we need? We got to win. Da da da. And to Coop's credit, we doubled down on the way we played. Even during that 62 win season, we were getting bailed out by Bassey. He was he's going to go down as one of the best goalies in the world. But that year, he was ungodly. Like, it was uncomfortable. We were surprised when he got scored on. He was going through stretches. So we were giving up chances. Our chances for and against, our underlying numbers weren't great. We'd get outplayed, and then Cooch would make a play, and our Stammer would finish, or Point would make a play, and our goalie would stop 44.
Yeah.
And it was all about, after that, is keeping out of our net. We were going to start by playing from the net out, and we did that. And we kind of had some non-negotiables. We stuck to it. We had an okay couple seasons, but we were dialed and we played the right way. And it was really good for me. People ask all the time, you won, what's it like? It was the journey of winning, especially after such a low. is where you grow from. But it was more of what we did that summer, and we doubled down on being above, not giving up easy offense, being better defensively, and we did all that stuff, and it obviously paid off.
Well, don't win the President's Trophy with like a month to go in the season. Well, you take your foot off the gas, you know.
Well,
it happened to Boston too a few years later, didn't it? Like a couple years ago.
It did, but honestly, you guys are St. Louis boys. It was watching that Stanley Cup Finals. That's what winning looked like, and that's what we had to install in our guys. Because St. Louis and Boston, remember that was 7 games. It was not, crazy. I wouldn't call it boring, but it was hard, but no easy offense. Everyone was above. People weren't turning pucks over. It was men. It was a men's hockey. And every Stanley Cup, that's what it looks like. And I give we credit, and I think we doubled down on what it should look like, and we did that. We were successful.
Didn't you take some heat at Sportsnet? Were you like giving away secrets of how to score on Vasilevsky or something?
Yeah, it wasn't quite that far, but it's, you know what, you talk about.
What was it? Remind me.
Basically, and it was true, but we tried to, and it's in reality, you look back at it now, it's true on every goalie. A goalie's got to see it. And like any goalie, any good goalie, if they don't see it, they struggle with it. And of course, someone like Vassy, who's the best goalie in the world, what do? You take his eyes. And so basically we try to defend better by boxing out, but not giving point shots time. So we'd call it punching out. And it was literally, it was that in a nutshell, but the way it was played out, it was like the secret form. It should have just, in talk about experience, it could have been just as easy to say, we got to let him see the puck. It's no different Hellebuck. It's no different than every goalie for the last 100 years. But the way I said it, it's like, we did and the study was we watched video and came up with, which we do every time. Yeah. It's just typical media, and it's a learning experience, how it blew up. And I wouldn't say for no reason, but for no reason it blew up. But that's the reality. And
did Tampa get pissed? Did Tampa get mad?
No. When they look back, when you look at it and you see the whole thing of it, and then you even see the follow up and everything like that. No, I mean it just feels uncomfortable because you get the one snippet on Sportsnet, and that was a learning experience for myself. Even when this first round, I was not a social media. Okay. Nothing went viral. It's just you learn how to, and it's not my spot to be critical. I don't need to be. I got you. Like it's just X's and O's, but
you're not trying to be a hot take guy. No, you know.
I don't have to be. And to Sportsnet, why I've done so well with them is they don't want that. Like even the thing the other day is I went to work the deadline show for them, and for Toronto I wanted Scott Laughton. I just felt he could help their depth. They have enough scoring. Some of that winning hockey I described when we experienced. Win some shifts. Give me a player that's going to win some shifts, and then Marner and Matthews will do their thing, and Willie. And they've done that. And they start out, and one of my parts to start with was going to be a Scott Laughton. And someone brought up, well, why don't you put Newsy's quote about making me look smart, how I said on the deadline day, what Toronto Maple Leafs need is Scott Laughton, and they do it, and it comes to fruition. And I give the guy credit. He's like, no, it's not about that. It's not about, look at me, what I said. Just we want X's and O's and takes. And I'm like, it's phenomenal. And that's why it's gone so well with my experience there at Sportsnet.
Yeah. What would your video look like after that 6-1 pounding that Florida gave Toronto the next day? I mean, Mitchie's got to be on there a couple times.
No, it's a reset. That's a great question, Ken, because you've been in this. It's so easy to talk about when it's running and you're rolling, but it's hard to get out of these things. And they have an unbelievable opportunity to get out of it. For me, it would be some of those turnovers. This isn't us. This hasn't been us the entire playoffs. Why in the hell is it now? And I would make some of those guys eat it in video where it would be uncomfortable. But then I would go back to a positive. And this is us, and there's a ton of those clips, and this is how we're going to be in this next game, and make it part of your game plan going forward. And you address it, you acknowledge it, But then you move past it. We used to laugh all the time. Coop and I would be we'd be good cop, bad cop, and then Coop would do the morning meeting, and he would dig into the guys. So that would be a meeting. He'd probably dig into the guys, and then I would be the good cop. The 5 o'clock meeting, and Cam, you're nodding your head because you've seen these meetings.
Yeah.
The 5 o'clock meeting was more positive reinforcements, our game plan, and we'd always joke whenever Coop would hammer the guys, cue up the goals for, because we always feel good about the goals for. And to this day, and you guys know Coop, he's got the biggest swagger in the world.
Oh yeah.
He yells at the guys, he's screaming at the guys, he's calling guys out, or this, that, or whatever. And then he gets done, he starts to leave the room, and he looks at me, he goes, cue up the goals for.
So then you end on a positive.
Yeah.
Because
so at the end of the night, you end on a positive. So if I had that meeting, that's what it would look like. We would acknowledge where we went wrong, how it wasn't good enough, but then you kind of build off why we're here, why we've had success all year. Let them see it. They see it, they believe it. Some positive clips. You call them out a little bit. Let's have some swagger. Let's have some attitude. We're going to go in there and win that game. And if you don't believe it, we don't want you there. Every single one of us is going to go in there. And Chiefs done this a million times, but they have one chance to get back home for Game 7. It was an uncomfortable one, but that's why our sport is so phenomenal.
No, I know. And you just wonder mentally how that core group handles it, because they're hearing it and they've been through so many struggles where they haven't gotten it done over the years. You just wonder if they can get it done now. Listen, I got to ask you about Coop, because you didn't play in the NHL. He didn't play in the NHL. You mentioned his swagger that he has. Is that, what's it like not being a former player, and then you've got to go toe to toe with guys like Patrick Kane, a future Hall of Famer, and be in front of a bunch of NHL players, Tampa, I mean, just one legend after the next. Where do you find the confidence? What's it like? And did that take a while for you to develop that?
Great question. I wouldn't say it took a while, but it's real. And Cam played in the league, so he knows what I'm talking about. It is a true 1%er league, and it's a huge badge of honor to play in this league, because it is so damn hard, and it is real. And it's just, you know what I'm talking about. It's a fraternity, Cam. It's just something. It's unique. And now I've won some cups. I've been a head coach. I get respect, but early in your career, you got to earn it from the guys. So what you become is, you become the guy that didn't play in the league to the guy that can help you in this league. And you talked about my video and my one-on-ones. That's how you become. I remember my first meeting in Denver, I had Paul Stastny and
never heard of him.
Yeah, don't know who he is.
Chris Butler.
Yeah,
And I'm nervous in front of those guys. I'm like 23 years old. Now I'm like, if my guy in Detroit or Tampa doesn't look me in the eyes when I'm presenting, I wait for him and wait for him. And this is NHL first-time Hall of Famer. Like, fucking look at me or whatever. Like that. Can we scroll that out?
No,
but it's just funny. Not in this one.
No, you're allowed.
You're allowed
we
to say
get NHL owners and GMs that come on here dropping F-bombs.
No shit.
But it's amazing how you go from, I was literally at 23 years old. I was nervous. And those guys, now I'm like NHL superstar. I'm like, get your goddamn head up and look at, like, it's amazing how you grow like that. But you become a guy that can help these guys. And they need that. Guys want to get better. And if you can help them on the day-to-day, and that's what we're there for, and that's what coaches in our league do. And you quickly become that guy that didn't play the league to the guy that can help me get better in the league. And you've got to do that in your career. So that's a legit question, and it's real. It's not even a guy that didn't play in the league. It's sometimes it's those coaches that only played a handful in the league, or career minor leaguer. Like these superstars are like these. You get those 1-2%ers.
Yeah.
They that's a different level. Even playing the league to that superstar elite, sometimes I look at like, oh, he wasn't a very good player. I'm like, well, he did play 700 games in the league. He's a pretty good player.
It's not bad. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So great question, and that's got to be your approach.
And you think Coop is the same thing? I mean, he's always
100%.
had confidence, But
it's
he
more
reminded me that he's a Canadian Olympic head coach recently. So I mean,
it's more with Coop. It's the same thing. Now it's like, if I want to win, if I want to get better, I'm going to follow him. And he has that. You become that person. And now it's just, he becomes the leader. He becomes the coach, not the guy that was the box lacrosse guy that changed fields lacrosse to play in college. He's become the coach now, and it's because he can help guys. And Cam, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You when you name a coach, if that coach could help you, you'd latched onto that guy. You'd love that
absolutely.
guy. Yes.
I never had a problem with any of my coaches. I know there's a lot of guys that come out, I didn't like this guy, I didn't like that guy. I look back and I'm like, everything they said to me, like I deserved, right? Whether it was right or wrong or whatever it is, you know. But let me ask about Connor Hollebuck. You know, I know he's taken a lot of flack, and he almost lost a series against the Blues. And I know you're not a goalie coach, but what do you take out of him not performing in big time situations?
And when it's a personality like that, just to follow up, like how do you, as a head coach, what if the other option gives you a better chance to win, but he's not up for the Vezina or not up for the Hart? I'm not even saying he would or wouldn't, but you know, they had to pull him 3 times here in St. Louis. It's just like, that's a tough spot for a coach to be in with that level of a goalie, you know?
I was working Sportsnet for that first round, so I had firsthand and watching the whole thing, and we addressed those type of things on our panel. First, you got to look at the positive of where he was at like that. If his home numbers were through the roof, I get the road numbers and he struggled. And that type of series, it was always easy to ride him and get back on him because he was winning at home, and he was that. For me, why he's one of the greats and why he's going to win the Vezina and why he's great, and you guys know what I'm talking about because you were invested in St. Louis, how he transformed his own game in Game 7 was fascinating for me to watch. He started out slow early, and you're like, God, they might score 4 or 5 on him. Does not look good. He didn't look comfortable. And then as the team picked up, he hit this switch, and he's a deep goalie anyways, but he was taking just enough more. He looked like he wasn't going to get scored on the rest of the way in. He literally transformed himself within the same game. And we saw it. We talked about it where we're sitting in the back room and Kelly Rudy, and we're like, God, this guy doesn't look like he's going to get scored on again. When early on, it's like, I don't think he's going to be able to keep it out. That's why you hang in there with a superstar and a guy like that, because he's been through it and he did it. He got it done for you, and he can still do it. Like we got a home game. He's got a home game coming up. He's the guys like that. They battle them. Some of their toughest critics are themselves. Those absolute superstars. You're going to help manage it. You're going to lean on your goalie coach. But a guy like that, you build confidence, you show him confidence, and you do just what Scott O'Neill did, and he got rewarded with it. And they may not be done yet. I know it looks good, but being down 3-1 with 2 more games at home and Game 5 at home is a lot different look. Yeah. And they had a heck of a 5-on-5 game the other day. It was, you know, obviously they pitched a shutout in Game 2, but they're in Game 4. Granlund gets 2 on the power play. He gets 1 on a 2-on-1. Their 5-on-5 play, I mean, Winnipeg was a better team. There's a lot they're going to want to build off. They win at home. They're just going to go win 1 on the road. So it's always hard with superstars. But this day and age, you win with your stars. You lean on your stars. You got to manage it. You got to ask more of them at times. There's different personalities and different guys on how you get to them. But I thought he was handled exactly the way he should have, and he rewarded the coaching staff.
Yeah, no, it's a good answer. You gotta live and die with your superstars, man. You can't like go to the backup when it's the guy who's up for the Hart Trophy and his 3rd Vezina. You know that's not in the cards. But he was not very good here, and you're just not used to seeing a goalie of that level struggle like that and have an 84 save percentage in the series. So 83 save percentage in the series. Hey, listen, you've and a couple more things, man. You've been great. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Denver University, like you were there, obviously. You've coached, you know, in the NHL, and you got like David Carl, who you've known for a long time. Who was, you know, your longtime assistant, getting a lot of attention, got offered some NHL jobs, decided to stay in college. Like, how good of a job does he have? Like in Denver, coaching that university in that market, like. What's it like coaching at college versus the NHL? Because everyone just assumes the NHL is a better job because it pays more and whatever, but that's a good job to walk away from, isn't it?
That's a great question. First of all, I want to start off by talking about Dave. It's very emotional for me. He's literally, I like to call my little brother because calling him my son outdates me. But obviously, I was at Denver. We had Matt Carl at Denver. I recruited David. He comes to Denver. So you build that relationship, and there's something unique about recruiting a player. Tyler Bozak's still one of my closest friends to this day.
Love Tyler. Yeah.
Great guy.
Just the relationship, you build a relationship, and it's a whole lot different in college hockey. So I recruit David. I go to the draft. It's going to be a celebration day. We had Joe Colburn, who got taken in the first round by Calgary. And then David was probably going to be taken late first, early second. So I went, in this day and age, you go to the draft to babysit your players so no one else steals them or whatever. I went to go celebrate the day. David Carl calls me in the morning. He's tearing up. He had to retire from hockey. And it's an unbelievable story. If he didn't blow up at Shattuck St. Mary's, he wouldn't have went to the combine. He was not going to be a combine invite going into his senior year of Shattuck St. Mary's. He goes into his senior year and he blows up. He gets invited to the combine. They find the heart defect. Probably saved his life. Unbelievable story. So we honor his scholarship because of George Gwastecki. Now David comes to Denver, and I'm extremely tight with him. And I was giving life lessons every Monday morning. Usually I was helping him along with his love life. Typical young 18, 19-year-old. They need some guidance, like any kid. But David was brilliant. He soon became the guy we honored scholarship and was going to help out on the coaching staff to someone we leaned on. So I leave to get my first head coaching job, the Green Bay Gamblers. David graduates. I take him upon me. He spends 2 years with me as my assistant, proud that, but he was like my son. I had a Facebook memory the other day. It was him reading to my daughter in bed, going to bed, like relationship. Him and I talk 3 or 4 times a week. So it's very personal, David. And to see the success he has, it has been unbelievable. It's like a proud dad. And he doesn't call me as much because I want to see him in the NHL because I think he's got to learn the NHL. He's got to fail a little bit because he's so smart to figure it out. But that goes back to the job he has. It's an unbelievable job. It's Denver is home for him. Even the person, how Denver is with his family, honoring his scholarship, his brother going there, winning national championships, winning the Hobie Baker. And then for him to take over, to have the success he has had there is simply amazing. The one knock in college now is its landscape. The NLI, the portal. It's not the same college hockey I did. I believe I have success in college hockey because I work off relationships because that's what I knew in college. That's just the way it is. Pro hockey, it's a little more vicious, if you will. It's a little more for your own, which it's the reality of it. But it's a little different landscape. So I understand David, and I support David in anything he does. And it is a really special job. He'll be in the NHL, but it's just going to be on his time frame in the right situation.
He'll be in the NHL, but not until the Avalanche job is open. No.
Maybe if he could live in his house. See, there's some truth to that. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, man. I don't want to. We love Jerry Bednar too. So, what's your plan? Like, what are you hoping? Are you wanting to dive right back in?
Are you
looking to be an assistant? Would you go back to college? Like, what do you want for
not
yourself?
College right now. You know what? It's a great question. I kind of did the TV thing to see if it's something I might want to do. I'm not going to say to buy myself some time, but obviously there's a cycle of jobs right now. And I've talked to some organizations. They've been great communication, good talks. We'll see where it plays out. But the college situation and the NHL assistant, again, trust me, I'll go back and be an NHL assistant anytime. I'm not arrogant enough to be like, I can only be a head coach. I only want to be a head coach. I know how hard it is to be a head coach in this league, but right now I want to give it a year. I'm very comfortable with what I did in Detroit. Made a lot of mistakes, could have been better, but I had that group. We went 17 points. We were on the brink of the playoffs. We had the room. There was a lot of growth there, and it stalled. And that's the reality of our profession. If it stalls, you're out. That's just the way it goes. I'm very comfortable with who I am and what I am. So I want to give it 1 year. If it doesn't end up being a right situation this summer, I may do some TV. I loved the time I spent with my family, chasing them around. And then kind of see where the cycle goes for 1 year and go from there. But a great question. You know, it's still early in the process.
That's all we do is ask great questions.
That's what we do, baby.
Okay.
I,
even though Cam wore his orange shirt,
I don't know
today,
why I wore this.
mean, it's very orange.
I'm looking at myself. I'm like, good God Almighty!
It's his Little Caesar shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
The Little Caesars, the mafia, the burnt orange.
I gotta apologize to you though, because you came out and supported the St. Louis Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame.
He did.
And I didn't recognize you. I've never met you before. I thought you were my buddy's dad. And you came by me, and because he always gives me shit.
I was like, Cam.
You come
it's
by me, and you're
Derek
like,
Lalonde.
hey. I go, I'll fucking bag you up. and you walk.
He did say that to you. I was like,
away.
oh my God.
And I'm like, and then Andy comes on. He's like, what the fuck you saying? What'd you say to him? He goes,
You
that's
were-
Derek. I
no,
go,
you
I am
were
so
awesome.
sorry, dude. I am so sorry.
No, you were good. You gave me the high. You probably thought it was just another. I get it all the time.
Well, at that type of event,
I was wasted,
You're
too.
just
It's
running into so
everyone.
many
Well,
local
and
people,
obviously,
and you don't
yes.
remember names. So.
Support my boy Jay Verity, but the whole
Yeah.
St. Louis thing. No, I never knew that. I never took a whatever. You transition quick because you're like, hey, coach, and you're like on Knuckles. We're talking about St. Louis. This guy coach, that guy coach,
Oh,
and
man.
you had who was your buddy with you?
Oh, there's plenty of them there.
But this one was like he definitely he's been in some hockey fights in his life too. God, I can't remember who it was, but he was an NHL
Was it
tough guy
Was
too.
it Losey? Reed Lowe,
Maybe Breed Lowe was there. I don't know.
But anything, but yeah, no, don't worry about that.
All
That's
right.
funny. That's a great story, man. That's so funny.
Yeah,
I'll back you
I was
up,
like, oh
like,
my God, you just
this
told him
kid's a
you're gonna back
psycho.
him up. Like, what? You're like a
God, I'm
psychopath.
an idiot. I'm an idiot.
What is wrong with you?
I know.
Hey, so first off, David Perron, we love watching you in Detroit because we used to watch DP all the time too.
Yeah.
I don't. He should have brought him back. You know, I mean, like I don't know what happened there, but you got to have veterans too, man. These guys just find a way. I mean, especially how he impacted Ottawa in the playoffs, man. These guys just know how to play the game. There's something to be said for that. And then also the Tampa Bay guys, they told me, hey, when you were running the PK, if you guys got scored, you would punch the glass and just scream, trust the process. Trust the process.
Oh, yeah.
There's some moments. Hey, it's your job, right? It's like you guys show a little intensity. It's the reality of it. I always want a little intensity for the boys. So yes.
Hey, and you know what, man? And we've had so many coaches on here.
We love
I
it.
mean,
We love
you
it.
mentioned a bunch of them, from Cassidy to Paul Maurice to Chief, all the way down. Man, we had so many coaches come on with us. We love talking to coaches, but they always say, and Dean Evison talked about this after he got fired last year. He came on, didn't get another job. So I'm just warning you, you may end up getting another job very quickly after coming
Quicker
on
than you
here.
think.
But, and Monty has talked about it with us, like you always – sometimes you're better off the second go around. I don't know why that is.
Yep.
Maybe because you learn from previous experiences, but you're going to be a great coach for a long time, man. So,
And we're rooting for
appreciate
you.
it.
yeah, we appreciate it.
I'm telling you, something special about St. Louis is just even the Mermises and Mikowskis.
The best.
I recruited Mayfield.
Oh, yeah.
It just St. Louis is an amazing, and Denver's unique because it doesn't have a Boston footprint or anything, but
No.
it's just that we had a little pipeline there, and it was special. Obviously, we talked about Stastny and Butts, but it was my whole career. It's just these unbelievable St. Louis. It's a unique for you to be from your hometown to put the jersey on.
Yeah, man.
But people don't understand the St. Louis is a unique hockey community. Man, the Hall of Fame day. God,
Yeah. How cool was that? Yeah.
God, it must have been 1,000 people that couldn't. And then
Shit, go to the rink.
And you got
It's-
Al,
yeah,
you got
it's-
Al
Go to these
McInnes
rings.
there and Paul Stastny, all these
it
people
was
coming
Peter
out,
Wilson.
So
Everyone had to go kiss the ring of the big NHL table, or I did early on. It was, such a unique, special community. Jay Verity, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So,
he
it's
stuck me in the
amazing.
balls one time during U16 tryouts
Of
years
course he
ago
did.
off a faceoff. It was very dirty.
It didn't hurt.
Would have gotten it hurt. Would have gotten him a couple games if he did that in today's era, But
Yes.
yes, no, it was a great event. I'm glad you guys
Yeah.
came. You guys should just come back this year too. Just keep
Oh,
coming.
Scotty
every
Rupp's
year.
going to reach out to you. Trust me.
I love it.
You should
Love
just
it.
come back. So,
Hey,
listen, all the best. Stop,
good luck to you.
stop taking our TV jobs, but it's all
Yeah.
good, man. It's all good. Keep up the great work and enjoy the summer and everything. Best of luck with your son tun
Yeah, good luck to you, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate this.
The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy.
Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Derek Lalonde.
I like him, man.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's totally cool.
Very confident in his own abilities, too. You know, it's got to be hard, Cam. I say this all the time. You're not paying attention.
No, I just need water.
You're ruffling around. I brought Cam gifts today from Fanatics. Doesn't even say thank you, this guy.
Yeah, I did.
Doesn't check in on me to see if I'm okay. Doesn't say thank you.
So I knew you were fine. These are cool. I like these.
Everyone else did. Everyone else.
Because you acted like a victim, and it's like you need to calm the fuck down. You're not a victim.
Everybody,
and he's always a victim.
Everyone reaches out.
You got a better story than you. Like you're not a victim there, man. Your tree fell.
Everyone
Everyone
reaches out.
Wouldn't have that big of a
Except
deal
for Cam,
you.
except for this guy.
Because I was worried about
the one guy.
I was worried about the African Americans downtown.
So was I.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I
you didn't
was.
even think about them. You didn't even talk about them. You talked about yourself.
No, I know.
I was talking about them.
I know a number of people who live down there.
Like I
got
got trees,
checking in on too.
I had my power out a couple weeks ago. No, you didn't check on me. I worry about them downtown.
So do I.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You know, a little uncomfortable with that. First thing you said was me. Like you had headwinds. Tornado didn't even hit you. It's always about Andy. It's all good. What are you looking at?
People are yelling at me saying that Caitlin wouldn't crack the G League.
Oh,
Forget
Jesus,
about the
his
WNBA.
tweet. Oh my God, that's so... Andy tweeted that out. It's so fucking funny. Why didn't she just play in the NBA? It's brilliant. It's brilliant. You're confusing a lot of people, and I like it. You know, some people don't know how to react to that.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably like, I agree with you. Has anybody said that? I agree with you.
Don't you agree with me?
No.
I thought you said you were going to tweet that.
I did.
Oh, well, then you do agree with me.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I think it's the most ridiculous statement ever. But if you're a normal person, that's clever to do that because now you're stirring up Twitter.
Okay.
Knowing that
Derek
she gets stomped on.
Lalonde.
She gets stomped on in high school.
Mm-hmm. He had a good run. They improved from one year to the next. I don't know what's going on with Detroit. They are a hard team to figure out. You know how close they are to becoming Buffalo? They are very close.
Buffalo has more playoff series in the last 20 years than the Leafs.
Really?
Yeah.
The Leafs.
Oh, man. They do.
We tried Toronto. I
up.
tried to get on your same page this year
you guys are
with my boy
phonies.
Chief.
You're phonies.
And Mike Van Ryn and Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
What was Bieber? Was he sober last night?
Oh, God.
I liked his hat and jacket.
He's probably still thinking about what happened to him with Diddy. You know, all the Diddy shit coming up. You know?
I think he's fine with that.
Sure.
Yeah, Cam's the Entertainment Tonight reporter now. Now he knows. E.T. Look for Cam tonight at 6:00 on E.T.
Andy would be a lady boy at a Diddy party. You would have got.
Cam's on Inside Edition tonight.
Andy would be.
He's got all the ins and outs.
He wouldn't be on camera right now. He'd be hiding in the corner.
Cam knows what's going on with.
Andy would have been a lady boy at Diddy parties
with Bieber and Diddy.
Handing out baby oil.
Just ask him.
Andy would be handing out baby oil.
That's not what that was there for. They came out and.
It's for butt fucking.
No, it's
not.
Like,
fucking right it is. What are you talking about?
Dude.
Baby oil's for straight butt fucking.
Okay.
I
don't know.
I'm bad boy for life, baby. I'm bad boy. No, you got butt fucked by Diddy.
For life. You don't need.
You got butt fucked by Diddy.
Okay.
Just so all y'all know.
Okay, this is just getting. I'm
What do you
very
mean?
uncomfortable with this.
What do you mean?
Type of conversation.
Bad boy for life. Hardcore.
Okay, I'm talking about Bieber is a Leafs fan.
I'm just telling you.
He's right over Mike Van Ryn's shoulder.
I'm just telling you. Yeah, that was odd. He probably should have been up in the box.
Who's putting him there?
I don't know. Go in the box. Aren't you getting tortured by people?
Does that make the team and Chief and everybody uncomfortable?
Remember he posts, I'm a slut for Marner and Matthews.
Oh, my God.
What does that mean? You didn't see that either? You don't see a lot of things.
Wake the hell up.
I'm a slut.
All of you.
I'm a slut for Marner and Matthews.
Listen, I give Marner credit for trying to
Maddie, what do you think that means?
Hey, you know what Marner was saying by yelling at his teammates?
You'd be a slut for Diddy.
You want to know what Marner was yelling? You know what he was saying?
What? I need to do more.
No, because
What?
He's like, I'm trying. But you know what? All y'all better try. Because you know what? You know who's taking the heat here? It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. It's me. I'm taking all the heat. So pick it up. Let's go.
Okay. You're making fucking 13 schmilly. Get on with yourself. You're gonna make so much goddamn money. You don't have to do a damn.
We-
your kids, children,
Okay,
I don't have to do anything.
Okay,
I don't give a fuck
let me
if
a-
you're taking heat.
okay, let me ask you.
Jesus, Andy.
If you're a general manager,
you back up the like, I don't understand you sometimes.
if you're a general manager, are you going hard after Mitch Marner in the free agency?
how much? How much? 14?
13 and
No.
a half.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know. Who
Are
else
you
is
yes or
available?
no?
What team am I? Anaheim? Sure. If I'm a contending team,
What about the Blues?
no. Good question. I want Matthew Nyes. I'll throw an offer sheet on him.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
I mean, I like
Why?
nine
What,
nines
is
too.
that bad?
No, I'm fine with it. I'm
Really?
just
You looked at me
asking.
like I got two heads.
I'm just asking.
Is that a bad thing to
No,
say?
no.
Because
no.
Mitchie Marnie, you want me to?
I like
You're gonna throw
Nyes.
19 at him, probably.
Knies.
I like Matthew Nyes. He's better than both of the other two
You think?
in the whole series. I think so.
Oh, okay. So you'd rather have
Actually,
him.
in the whole playoffs, I think he was better.
You'd rather
than all
have
three of
him
them.
than Austin Matthews. Austin
for
Matthews.
the price difference.
I've seen
yeah.
other
For-
people.
Wait. For the price difference, yeah.
Okay, I've seen
Sure.
other people say this, and I will not disagree. But Matthews and Marner, some athletes just don't. They don't have that dog in
They
them.
don't got that dog in them, baby. They don't have it.
That's one thing I always had.
It's always You got everything.
I always had the dog in me.
That woman grabbed me by the fucking arm today and goes, "Make sure you keep making fun of Andy." I go, "God damn."
She's sliding
What was
into
that?
my
all?
DMs.
What did you do to that woman?
like Ricky Henderson?
What'd you do? They want your wee wee. Do you think these women that slide in your DMs want you? Do you think I can't?
Don't
No, you're-
don't go there.
I'm just
No,
saying.
that's not-
I can't imagine that.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
Okay.
They probably want to hang out with you because you're fun,
like Willie McGee,
but like they're not like I want Andy.
like Vince
I
Coleman.
want Andy to give me a baby.
Who's that guy who plays for the Reds right now with the dreads? Steals bases.
Acuna? No. Man, fuck, I don't know. The big tall black guy?
Cruz.
Cruz, yeah, Nelson Cruz. Yeah, he's
Sliding
good.
into my DMs like Cruz.
Good one. What do they want from you? The kid to make a team? You think it's for that thing down there?
Possibly.
Do you really think that's true? No.
Cam,
way.
I am a happily
And
married man, so
no
like,
doubt.
that's
no,
not.
That doesn't. I'm not saying you're
I'm
monogamous.
not
No. Andy's a good daddy. He's a good
And a
husband.
good
No,
husband.
100%. Andy's an unbelievable daddy and husband. Those girls don't want you for sex. They want you probably for other things. But don't think it's because you're, a sex symbol. Andy's a sex
go
symbol.
back to Derek Lalonde.
Great guy. I need a water. Can I get a water real quick, Maddie?
My God. While Cam leaves to get water, remember to go to firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Do it today and get those strawberry smash bars.
Smash those mugs up with a
That smash cake.
milkshake.
That smash cake. Oh my God.
God damn.
Do you know I've been putting protein powder? Listen, I'm confused. I got to talk to Nick about this because the protein powder, it says, like they have a kids protein powder that I highly recommend. I've been getting my kids the kids
And
protein powder and making shakes.
Yeah.
With some Greek yogurt and some peanut butter and some honey and some strawberries and blueberries and bananas. They're unbelievable. All my fruit went bad with my tornado that we had. Everything went bad. We had no power it must have been days without power.
Jesus.
We lost all our fruit.
Go get a GoFundMe going.
You probably use one. But I'd rather go fund.
would do
I'd
that.
rather go fund me for the people that truly need it.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they suffered significant
That
more
went
damage.
actually through the tornado?
They suffered significant more damage, and some even lost loved ones, dude. I feel for all those people.
Yeah, they lost lives, man. I think one guy was at Forest Park and a
Could you
fucking tree hit
imagine?
him.
Just like living your life, and all of a sudden a tornado just rips through. I hate tornadoes now.
They're scary, dude. I've warned you about this
It's
for
probably the
years.
scariest thing that can happen.
Oh, really?
What's a
Where'd
scarier?
you get this thing?
What's a scarier natural disaster?
Floods. Floods are horrific. If you're in a major city, an earthquake could be terrible. But an earthquake can obviously a tsunami comes afterwards. So I'd say an earthquake, tsunami combined kills more people than anything. Tornadoes are very direct.
Dude, you know how long the tornado lasted?
I like how people say, I can't believe this is happening in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, this has happened throughout history. History. Actually, the biggest tornado ever, timeout, was in 1923. It's called the Tri-State Tornado. Hit Missouri, all the way through Illinois, and through Indiana, and it killed 600 people, and it killed farmers back in 1923.
We talked about that. That was in the Farmer's Almanac, I think.
1923, that song, bitch.
That's another
Fuck
book
guys
that I
up.
know.
Fucking
Farmer's
tore up
Almanac.
everything. This is still some of a weak tornado.
Farmer's Almanac. I know that one too.
So
that's another.
I
book.
would say an earthquake, like if an earthquake hit San Francisco again, a big monster one, although everything is a lot better now as far as like the infrastructure, it would do a lot of damage.
Keep Your Third Eye Open is another great book if people want
I
to
would
read
say
that
another
one.
thing. What do you think else would, besides hurricane, kills and
I would say an avalanche.
no, not even close. Not even close. What else?
Besides,
What is something that's happened that actually killed more people than anything? One natural disaster that could actually disrupt the whole planet.
sinkholes.
Nope. One natural disaster that can affect the whole planet and make it 10 degrees colder.
A meteor.
No, that's a good one other thing that we see every day that goes on every day.
Thank you.
No. What goes on every day? Think of Hawaii. A volcano. A volcano. Thank you, Maddie. We'll get done with this. Andy's out of touch because when I talk actually anything science with him, he has no idea what he's talking about. A volcano could really affect. This happened before.
Yeah, it could.
Could affect the whole world. One nasty.
Oh,
volcano.
I was going to say in a volcano.
There's
With all the lava. And
lava is underneath Montana.
What does the lava do?
What do you mean? It's got sulfur in it, dude.
Okay, so
It'll fucking blow up, and all of a sudden it'll fucking make everything gray and dark and have acid rain come down on you for fucking years.
like how many miles will it cover?
Depends on how big it is. There was one that happened back in the 1800s.
Can they control that so it doesn't erupt?
No.
So there's no warning. A
No.
volcano could just erupt.
Yeah.
In
and-
what state typically?
Well, Hawaii has number one. We also, it's all over Indonesia and fucking Southeast Asia. But actually, volcano in Iceland, volcanoes can go off, and it killed millions of people in the 1800s in India. It was 1,000 miles away from the volcano because of it disrupted the climate.
I could use a strawberry smash cake
I'll eat one.
bar right now.
I'll eat one of them.
God,
Let's go.
And maybe for
Let's go.
limited time. Well, say something about Derek Lalonde.
I just did. We talked about
Say
him.
something
He's
about
great.
Detroit.
He's gonna get
Say
Detroit.
something
That was a
about
weird
Detroit.
situation. I did ask him about Walman. I was kind of wondering about that.
We still don't know.
We don't know.
I think
He didn't
there's
answer
something
it.
more to it. I think it's on Walman, honestly. And
I heard a couple things.
Detroit's not stupid.
I heard a couple things.
Like, you're not that dumb where you're just like, I'm going to give you a second-round pick to take this guy
I
that
know.
we just signed to a long-term extension, paying him 10, 11 million bucks.
I know.
And now we're going to give you a second-round pick?
We need to get him on.
I know. I've talked to him about it.
Seriously.
Okay.
So
He's playing right now, in case you didn't know.
I know.
He's in Edmonton.
I know.
Trent Frederick will give you a shout-out, too,
Yeah,
man.
Trump, baby, I love you, buddy.
Let's go, baby.
Although he did get his ass kicked by goddamn, what's his name?
Haig.
Fuck, man.
Hey,
Quit-
he got caught in a bad spot.
No, he put himself in a bad spot. He caught himself.
Haig
in a bad
had that
spot.
leverage, man.
No,
it's a
he
big
put
boy.
himself in a bad spot.
Well, he got,
Did you not watch it?
He got stuck.
He put his head down and he's getting uppercutted. I'm like, get your fucking head up and use your reach. You know?
Okay. Settle
I don't
down.
want him. He got fucking punched
Okay.
15 times. I don't
Well,
want to
then
get punched.
Text him. Tell him that.
I'm telling him no.
Okay.
Why should I not say that?
We love you, Freddie.
No, you don't, because he's not. You don't want him to listen to what I'm saying.
I want him to continue doing what he's doing. He's getting healthier and healthier.
He looks good.
And this guy's going to have an impact in this next series.
Don't put your head down like that with somebody taller than you when you fight him.
Hell yeah, Freddie.
So, or just text Andy. He'll tell you what to do. It's all good.
I will.
You know what
Sometimes you just can see this right here. Yeah.
I mean? Your shirt is very wrinkled.
I know. You said that when I walked in. Put it in the dryer. You said. Which one? This one or this one?
Leon, it's all good. No one
Yeah.
cares.
No, it's not a big deal, is it?
No one cares. Except for that woman that grabbed my arm.
Oh,
Jesus.
she
What
loves
the
me.
fuck was that
She's
all?
just Ricky Henderson.
I don't know if that's love. I don't know what you did.
Vince Coleman.
Did you cut her kid or
I
something?
don't know.
Jesus. She grabbed my Okay, I'm going to go home and
Can
take...
you do me
Hey,
a favor?
I'm going to go home and take my shirt off. And Kate's going to be like, what the fuck is that?
You're
on
going to
your
have
arm?
marks all over your arm.
She'll be
Hey,
like, what the fuck is that?
Can
on
you
your
do me a
arm?
favor?
Yeah.
Like, I mean this. Was it the gas station by your house?
Yeah, it was the one in Chesterfield.
Can you go there? What time was
No,
it?
I'm not going to go
Ask for the video surveillance. What time was
and
this?
find out who this was. She grabbed my arm.
Ask-
I was assaulted.
What time was the video surveillance?
9.
Okay.
9 o'clock.
Where
Who
was it?
this woman?
Chesterfield. What was the name of the place?
No, I'm sorry. It was Clarkson Clayton, that big BP right there. Or whatever,
Okay.
a new one. with
Can
the-
we get the surveillance of the woman grabbing Cam's arm at 9 a.m. this
When
morning
I'm walking in, she's
from
walking out.
the BP at Clarkson and Clayton.
Yeah, it's not a BP, whatever that brand new gas station right there.
Is it a QT? Is it a?
No,
I
it's
mean, do you need help with this? You don't know where you were?
Nah, they all kind of look alike.
Is
but
it a
it's
mobile on the run?
It's a big one with all the car service and all that stuff in there.
Oh, okay.
With the car wash and all
Oh
that.
yeah, okay.
She grabbed my arm like she was mad at you.
I went to the worst car wash the other day. I thought it was great. Going through the car wash, it was phenomenal experience. I mean, it was just water was splashing everywhere. And then these kids didn't do shit.
It's 12:60.
These kids didn't do shit when they were cleaning out my car. I had to have them do it over 5 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like, hello.
Like what? It's like this.
They didn't even open the trunk.
Get the fucking thing. I need the insides.
Dude.
You got all the blade hair.
Yeah.
I need all that out of there.
Yes, get it out.
Put your foot down.
I did.
But don't be a dick to him.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I tipped him before I even knew I had to have him come back.
There's kids that will come to your house and just detail your car.
I've got one too.
He's
coming. He's coming soon because Ty took the ice scraper to my car. He's gonna.
Oh
come buff it
yeah.
out.
That's okay.
All right. So firstform.com/Cam and Strict. Of course, IRC, man. You need to talk to somebody. You need help. Somebody in your inner circle, a friend, a family member, a coworker who you know needs help, but you don't know how to get them help. Or if you're listening and you know you need the help, this is where you turn to, man. Chrissy Pondoff, Eric, Jacob, man. Listen, they will take care of you. So if you need the help or you know somebody else who does, man, give them a call and reach out to them. You can always reach out to me or Cam too, and we can help you get in touch with Chrissy or whoever.
Goddamn right.
Okay. Bolt Sports, take that stick handling to the next level, man. Get a dangle bar and get one today. Boltsports.ca. Check them out on Instagram. Of course, True Float. I mean, take your cooler game to the next level.
Don't be a pussy.
Be the coolest one on the river.
Yeah.
This summer.
There it is, Andy.
Be the
There's a type A.
Yes.
There's a type
Be
A.
the coolest one on
There's
the river
a type
with
A.
your logo
Hit the
on
rock,
a cooler,
son of a bitch.
baby. Hell yeah.
Let's go. It's river season. A little
It's
flooded
river
right
season.
now.
Yeah, I know.
A little flooded right now. Be
True
careful.
Float.
Watch
Check
out.
out their Instagram.
Watch out.
You'll
for
see
them
the Cam and
Hoosiers.
Strick coolers on there too. Get the heated chairs also, man. When you're hanging out by that campfire.
It's floating season, baby. Let's go. True float. Let's go. Alberta shit kickers.
Blue Note Roofing. David Novak, man, is standing by, ready to
Get
take
that
your
new
call.
roof.
314-920-5713. 314-920-5713.
Hail's here.
If you want to get in touch with David Novak with Blue Note Roofing, let me know, and we will certainly make that happen. Again, 314-920-5713. Blue Note Roofing, baby, the best in the business. Roofing, gutters, soffit, fascia, siding, whatever you need. They'll take care of you. Hat launch. Take your hat game to the next level.
Oh, I need one.
Send that logo in there, and they will take great care of you.
Damn right.
Hat launch.
Right there, baby.
Jersey generator. Cam, more people, I hate to tell you this, but one of our listeners reached out, and they're having a Cam and Strick jersey made with Jansen on the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
With an A, not with a C. So if you want the C, you got to
Andy's a captain.
You got to get my name on the back. But you can order one of these. You can get your logo on a jersey. You can do whatever you need. So do that today.
Best logo in the league right there, baby.
Jersey generator.
Go on YouTube
baby.
and check this out, by the way, and follow us on YouTube.
Reach out to Mark, man. He'll take great care of you. He's the best. He's got something else, another product that he's sending us. We'll get into that next week.
Good.
Jersey generator.
I like products.
Hat launch, I mentioned them, right?
Yep.
America's #1 source for
Damn
customized
right.
hats. Bellman, at Bellman you get no.
Swinging dicks, baby. None of that bullshit.
But you do get sushi and flavored water. Buick GMC, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, all located where?
Troy, Missouri. Troy.
Say hi to Danny.
Danny. Dale.
Kenny.
Kenny. Get on with yourself.
Everybody.
Love you guys, man. Seriously. Love
We
you guys.
appreciate Derek Lalonde for joining us. We had a monster guest coming on. The team intercepted.
Yeah, we got intercepted.
They don't allow any podcasts.
We almost had him. It's all good.
We're going to get
We got
him,
Derek
though.
on here.
We're
We love
gonna
you
get
guys.
him.
See you guys. Love you.
See ya.
Yerk! Let's go! Cam's a shit kicker, 2 bombs in the lead. Soul dragging cougars, no time for fatigue. And he's a shit talker, stirring up the show. Never played a shift, but he's ready to go. My check, for check, here comes show. Cam throws hits, and he's in the know. No filter, no fluff, can't record it.